From Robbie Stadium in Wauwatosa on an overcast, a little drizzly Saturday night. It's Homecoming 2024 as the Warriors begin NAC play, welcoming in the Red Devils of Eureka College. And good evening, everybody. Welcome inside the broadcast alongside Warriors' first football coach, the founder, Dennis Miller. I am Scott Warris. So glad you could join us as Wisconsin Lutheran, record of 1-1, takes on an 0-2 Eureka Red Devils squad. It is the NAC opener, as we say. Coach, it's under the lights. It is homecoming. They're celebrating the 25th anniversary of Warriors football. All kinds of familiar faces. I know something near and dear to your heart. Should be a great night. Weather holds off. If the weather cooperates, could get some fireworks afterwards. Special night under the lights always.
Special night for so many reasons. First conference game. Everybody gets a little more juiced up under the lights because they know everybody else is done playing and it's kind of focused on them. And tonight especially is a big deal because they're honoring 25 years of Warriors football. And I attended a little gathering prior to us meeting right now, and to see 75 or 80 guys that played throughout the years, and they're all going to be here with their families tonight. It's going to be a great environment.
Let's talk just for a second about this matchup here. The Warriors 44-13 last week over Buena Vista. Carson Kohler in the second half, 3 touchdowns, $175 on the ground for the freshman. Conference Offensive Player of the Week. In the first half, it was Liam Hygis, who went for 179, 396 on the ground, a single game record. They were spectacular. The line was spectacular.
They were, and they were dominant from start to finish. Liam got it going in the first half. The offensive line, the cool thing watching the offensive line last week is not only were they making the initial blocks, but they were climbing to linebackers. They were getting secondary blocks. And then what really jumped out at you is both those backs, and they're young backs, which is, to me, amazing. Both those freshman backs saw the opening so well, and they had the patience behind the line of scrimmage to bide their time, which also says that the offensive line is holding on to their blocks. It wasn't like a one-and-done shot. They were holding on to the blocks, and then the guys just accelerated through, and it was really fun to watch.
Eureka College, the Red Devils come in. They're 0-2. They lost 7-6 at Knox. Last week, 27-7 at home to Greenville. It's a new era for the Red Devils. Randy Starks, the former Pro Bowler with the Miami Dolphins, is now their head coach, and he's trying to get his personnel in there. They play with emotion. They're very high-spirited, and if they're playing, confidently, look out. They can be dangerous tonight.
Well, no doubt. And, with the new coaching staff, they're all learning together a little bit. Obviously, they've had some struggles offensively up to this point in time with only 7 points and 6 points in their previous 2 games. But I think they try to make up for it with the emotion. They're trying to create that atmosphere where they're kind of in charge of what's going on the field. So I think a big challenge for us is just not. We need to play with our typical emotion, but we can't get caught up in a game of emotion. Let's just play our game and see what happens.
It's one of my favorite phrases in all of sports. Play with emotion. Don't let the emotion play you. How about that?
Well, it's perfect. You should patent that. I mean, I think that's great because truly, if you let the emotion get to you, you make dumb decisions, you make dumb plays, and then oftentimes you get yourself into penalty situations.
Well, we're going to let Coach Miller go. You have a ceremonial coin toss to take part in here at Homecoming.
I'm excited about that. I haven't literally set foot on the field for a while, so I'm excited about getting back out there and throw the coin in the air.
All right, that's what the former coach will be doing. When we come back, we'll talk with the current coach, Eric Tresky, as our pregame show rolls on from Robbie Stadium. Back in a moment with the coach. You're watching Warriors football.
You're watching Warriors football live from Robbie Stadium on WLCSports.com.
Welcome back inside the Warriors pregame show. Scott Warris and the head coach Eric Tresky getting ready for this one. Under the lights, it's a NAC opener with the Red Devils of Eureka. Coach, before we talk about the matchup here tonight, let's talk about last week, that impressive performance against Buena Vista, 44-13. You've had, obviously, several days to chew it over, get better because of it. What impressed you most when you broke down the film?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that impressed us was how we controlled the line of scrimmage on both sides. Key to every game is controlling the line of scrimmage. Was our struggle week 1, and we saw a big improvement in week 2.
That 1-2 freshman running back punch of Liam Hyges, who was spectacular with 179 on a touchdown, and then second half Carson Kohler, 175 and 3 scores. Is that a sign of things to come? How much do you tweak as they continue to improve?
I think both those guys are going to continue to be a significant part of our offense. They have big careers in front of them. We saw flashes throughout camp, and then obviously we got a chance to see what it looked like under the lights in a big game against Buena Vista. So yeah, we're excited to see how they continue to grow in the offense.
Well, you told us this week, Carson Kohler, oh, by the way, the NAC Offensive Player of the Week. You know, we go back maybe 4 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, he's, fifth string running back, and it's a real testament to hard work, determination, and here he is, Conference Player of the Week in week 2.
Yeah, he's a put your head down and work kind of kid. That's actually one of the things I loved in the recruiting process. He was asking about our training regiment and how he can improve himself, get better. We knew he was coming off an injury at the end of his high school season, and it was just a matter of time before he became confident on that knee again. And man, you saw it on Saturday. He was very confident and was very elusive. They both are similar, but they have a little bit unique style. Liam's a finisher, right? He's a guy that likes to drop the shoulder pad, and Carson's got a little bit of elusiveness, agility in the open field. It's a great 1-2 punch.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, the offense stole a lot of the headlines last week, Coach, but we got to give a little credit to the defense. Buena Vista won 2 big plays. Other than that, your defense was spectacular.
Yeah, and we said, week in, week out, that's the strength of our football team. We've got incredible leadership on that side of the ball. We've got guys that at each level of the defense that we feel like we can count on week in and week out to bring their A game. You've seen it the last 2 weeks. Hopefully we see it again tonight. I'm confident those guys will lead us.
Hey, Arnulfo Ortega, now the career leader in field goals made. He's been such a talent, a 3-time all-conference honoree, and to have that blessing as a head coach, it can really change strategy from a play-calling perspective.
Yeah, without a doubt, to be able to know that you can score from different zones of the field. We talked the other day, I've never had a kicker where I could feel that confident as I do in Arnulfo, and we'll definitely call his number again when the situation arises.
Okay, it's a conference opener under the lights. Eureka is here, a new head coach, a new regime now for the Red Devils down in Illinois. Randy Starks is the head coach. As you have looked at the film and expect what the Red Devils bring tonight, what does the Starks era look like so far through a couple weeks?
Well, they're well coached. You can see they're doing a great job schematically. Guys don't make a lot of mistakes. They play with a lot of emotion. So we're going to really try to push some tempo. We're going to try to make them get out of character a little bit. Key to the game really is the Warriors can't beat the Warriors. We got to play our game. We got to stay together for 4 quarters. We got to make sure that we're doing all we can to focus on ourselves. But Coach Starks is doing a good job.
Last thing for you, Coach. It is homecoming, also youth football night, so maybe some future Warriors mingling with former Warriors. About 200 people are here in conjunction with 25 years of Warriors football, a great pregame reception. Coach Dennis Miller, Coach Ben Murphy, the only 2 guys to wear your shoes in the history of this program. It's a special night, speaking of emotions.
Yeah, it will be emotional to see a lot of faces. There's been quite a few people that really laid the foundation of what this program has become. Many of them never got to really realize, never got to experience what our guys get to experience on a daily basis. So it's special. It's a big
All right, we're back here at Robbie Stadium where the starting offense is being introduced here to the crowd. Let's listen in.
Fireworks out behind the softball.
Well, again, that is an offense for Wisconsin Lutheran College that a week ago against Buena Vista put up 44 points, over 500 yards of offense. It was a top 10 day historically for the Warriors in terms of total yards, in terms of 396 rushing yards. It really was a spectacular day for the Warriors, but that is in the rear view mirror. Coach may not say it, but I can say it. We can say it. We're the broadcast crew. A little extra special, certainly, as it is a conference opener. The Warriors have dominated Eureka of late. Wisconsin Lutheran, they have won the last three with the Red Devils scoring an average of 54 points per game in the last three. All victories, including 68 back in 2021. The Red Devils joined the NAC back in 2018. Fireworks already going off as the Warriors were announced here at Robbie Stadium. There's a post-game fireworks show on tap as well. Homecoming 2024, all the good vibes. They had a pregame reception at a nearby hotel for the 25th anniversary team and 25th anniversary alumni. Great atmosphere tonight. Let's go down to the field. Let's check in with Wayne Chevy for the first time.
Rev Chev here. It is a big night. We've got the home opener. We've got the conference opener. We've got homecoming. We've got the 25th celebration and the anniversary. It's obviously a big night. One of the keys for Coach Tresky is to keep everybody steady, under control, and execute. And if they pull all those together, it's going to be a great night for Warrior football. Hopefully fireworks on the field as well as off. Back to you, Scott.
All right, Rev, thanks so much. We'll be checking in with Wayne, as always, throughout the night. Up next is the prayer, a national anthem via saxophone on tap here at Robbie Stadium, and then the ceremonial coin toss with the only two men to be head coaches of WLC before Eric Tresky, Dennis Miller and Ben Murphy. Weather has cooperated. There was a rain shower, some lightning in the area about 45 minutes, an hour or so ago. It'll be about a 15-minute delay when it's all said and done compared to our original kickoff time. Let's see if we can't catch up with some of the former Warriors that will be in attendance here before this night and before this broadcast comes to its conclusion. Warriors trying to start the young season 2-1. They'll be on the road next Saturday night at Lakeland. Back-to-back night games for the program. This one, obviously, here at home. Wasn't a perfect performance last week for the Warriors by any stretch, but a lot went right. A lot went very right on the offensive end and on the defensive end of things. And they'll try to replicate that performance here against Eureka. Some wild scores today around the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference. This is the only game under the lights in the NAC. The wildest one of them all was Lakeland beating Concordia Chicago in Chicago 66-61. Sounds more like a college basketball score, and it might very well be a college basketball score in a few short months. And now the pregame prayer, followed by our national anthem.
You proved your love for us by sending Jesus to take away all our sins, and on top of that, give us a great day to enjoy some football. Help us show our things by playing hard, cheering loud, and loving each other. Win or lose, keep us safe, humble, and always trusting in you. In the name of Jesus, amen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for all who are able, I invite you to please rise and kindly remove your hats. Direct your attention to the American flag as we honor America and those who defend our freedom, both at home and abroad, with the playing of our national anthem, performed this evening on the saxophone by Wisconsin Lutheran College Junior Nathaniel Friss.
Okay, there's your national anthem. Saxophonist, student Daniel Frisk here at Wisconsin Lutheran College. Up next is the ceremonial coin toss. Our referee tonight is going to be Benjamin Legacki. And to handle the ceremonial coin toss will be the two former Warriors head coaches. Dennis Miller, who founded this program back in 1999. Before they played games, they had practices. First time that Miller has been on the field in 5 years since he retired and stepped down. And Ben Murphy, his longtime defensive coordinator, who spent one season as the head coach of the Warriors. Very special moment for Coach Miller and Coach Murphy.
Eureka has won the toss and deferred their choice to the second half. Wisconsin Lutheran will receive.
All right, there you heard it from our referee, Benjamin Lagaki. Eureka won the toss. They deferred, so the Warriors will receive to begin this football game. The Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference opener for Wisconsin Lutheran and for the Red Devils of Eureka College. A big hug on the sidelines between Dennis Miller and Mike Fossum, offensive line coach, director of football operations, the only member of the current program today who was back in 1999, part of that original staff. Very cool, and homecoming, certainly. So again, it's the Warriors who come off that 44-13 rout of Buena Vista last week. And it is a Eureka squad that struggled last week, losing at home to Greenville 27-7. They lost the Lincoln Bowl at Knox 7-6 back in week number 1. Warriors in the home green and Eureka in the traveling white. For the Warriors, the two men back. One of them is Carson Kohler, reigning offensive player of the week in the NAC. Kohler is back for the Warriors. He's there with Deshaun Wells as well. And we're just about set to go. The rain has moved out, still cloudy, lights taking effect, but we are set for football. Harrison Woods on the approach, and the lefties' kickoff is underway, right to left, and it'll be taken on the run by number 84. That's Nate Hidalgo, angling it to the right side, and he's twists his way out across the 35-yard line to the 34. It'll be Luis Cerda on the stop. And so that's where the Warrior drive will begin. Again, the junior quarterback, Bryce Barbian, who a week ago against the Buena Vista defense found himself 15 out of 28 for 141. All 5 touchdowns the Warriors scored were on the ground. Opening drive and a good start field position from the 37. Dennis Miller is back in the booth. You made good time.
Thank you. I'm catching my breath right now.
Take a breath there. All right, man in motion, and Bryce is going to throw. In the flat right side, Colin Amack twists his way out across the 45 near the 46-yard line. Hanson Johnson on the stop. It's a good pickup there for the Warriors. Let's quickly give you the starting offensive line. You have the center, Kevin Trevino, the left guard, Eric Rodriguez, the right guard, Richard Steigerwald, with the tackles, Nash on the left and the veteran Brim on the right. And here's a quick toss to the left side, and they get it into the hands of Jameel Gordon, and it's a first down up to midfield. Tempo is big tonight for the Warrior O.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it looks right now like they feel very good about throwing the ball a little bit. Eureka's playing a cover 4, and so the corners are off. And if they continue to stay off like that, they'll be able to hit those quick screens all night long until he finally adjusts to that.
First and 10 for the Warriors from the 49 of Eureka. And it's the first carry of the day for Liam Hyges, and he gets near the 45-yard line. It was the tackle to Ezekiel. And maybe at some point I'll try to pronounce his first name, but right now it's just Ezekiel who made the stop for the Red Devils.
That's fair enough.
Inshamirimana Ezekiel.
And I'm going to let you do that one tonight. You got her figured out.
Here's Hyges. Liam, first down. Inside the 40.
He really is right. You know, it's early in the game, making a big statement only a few plays in, but he's back to where he was at last week in terms of, significant yardage every time he's carrying the ball.
Eric Tresky told us this week, Liam Hyges is as good as I thought, but he finished runs even better than I thought last week. Barbian toss, right flat, Gordon into the speedster's hands, cuts it outside, penalty flag down as Gordon ropes himself down inside the 20. We'll check the flag, could be coming back. It was Ezekiel again who made the stop. I'll say it again, Inshamirimana Ezekiel made the stop, and the referees, the officials are walking backwards. It'll be a hold.
Yeah, that, again, same play as the opening play of the game with a little step back screen. The two interior receivers are doing a very nice job at blocking. Apparently the officials felt that there was a little more handsy stuff going on than they wanted and threw the flag. But again, they're going to have to figure that one out because they're feeling pretty confident with that play.
So they walk it back to the 45-yard line. Warriors got to get to the 28, so we'll call it 1st and 17 for Wisconsin Lutheran. And the junior fake the handoff, toss, and it's knocked down at the line of scrimmage. That was Derek Payton Jr. Got his paws up there. The 6'3" defensive lineman from West Seattle, Washington, and it'll be 2nd and 17 for the green and white.
And I think Nate Nash, left tackle, would love to have that over again. The defensive end did a nice job at jumping and timing that out right, but if Nash hits him, in the gut and gets his hands down, that's going to open up that throw as well.
Nash, of course, the 6'6" freshman left tackle. Again, man, they have got it in the hands often of Jameel Gordon, and he'll get back those penalty yards inside the 38 or so before Ezekiel takes him down again.
And they've got a ways to go for a first down, but Eric is an aggressive play caller, and they've got 3rd and 10, and I think almost irregardless of what they get here, this may be in 4-down territory. We'll see what it looks like.
Just underway. We approach 12 minutes to go in our opening quarter. We were delayed due to lightning. Handoff Hygis on 3rd and 10, and probing his way inside the 35 near the 34 for a gain of 4 on the play. And for the Red Devils, it was Tyler Lundy, the freshman linebacker, who made the stop. And Tresky's going to keep the offense out there right now. Of course, last week we did see Bryce Barbian with a punt. That was the only punt of the day last week.
He's not in position to do that right now, so I think he's probably throwing it here.
Trips to the right. He will throw to the right. And it's wide of Jameel Gordon. That would have been short of the sticks. He would have had to have Gordon do something after the fact. Coverage coming on the play by Darian Rogers, the freshman linebacker. And so Eureka gets the stop. That holding penalty negated that big gainer for the Warriors, and that kind of got them behind pace. And ultimately the Red Devils will take over on offense for the first time.
I think there may have been, we'll know if we ask Eric or watch the film maybe or something, that may have been a miscommunication on the outside with that last throw, because I don't think anybody was quite where Bryce thought they were going to be on that.
As Eureka takes the offense for the first time, let's check in with Wayne Chevy. Wayne?
We got put behind the sticks on that with that penalty, and unfortunately that took us out of that running game. Obviously, Hygis and Kohler, you're going to get a big dose of them today, but you're also going to realize that Eureka gave up 280 rushing yards last week in their loss to 27-7. So as long as we stay ahead of the sticks, we should be able to ground and pound.
Next to no gain there on the first possession, or I should say the first play for Eureka. Quarterback, by the way, is Braden Tollett, a junior. Came in late last week against Greenville to finish the job. And they'll turn, and the handoff goes to Angel Garcia. Ball may have popped out as he crossed the 45. Let's see what the officials decide to do here. Still no signal yet, as Ansick was there. Brandon Ansick did indeed poke it out. The officials confer. The Warriors have forced a turnover. Kyle Kubaki secured the loose football. Ansick the force, Kubaki the recovery, and the Warriors will be right back on offense in Red Devils territory.
Really a nice job there. It looked like it was starting out to be not a very good defensive play. They made quite a few yards up the middle on that, but gang tackling, Ansick coming up, he's a hard hitter and got the ball out of there. And this is exactly what Eureka doesn't want to have happen, to let us get field position on them.
10:47 opening quarter, no score. And Barbian to Hygis, left side of the line, and he twists his way for a decent gain to the 38-yard line. That's a solid 4. His work after contact has been so impressive. Pat Jordan, the defensive lineman, with the ankle tackle.
And it looks like they're going fast, more so than normal.
Gordon breaks one tackle, and he tight ropes the far sideline, pushed out of bounds, about 1.5 yards short or so. Daniel Parhams, the freshman defensive back. You've heard me say it already. A lot of youngsters for Eureka, a lot of freshmen in positions this year for new coach Randy Starks.
Yep, and typically what that means is mistakes that, they're just not used to playing.
Gordon is wide to the right with Hawkins in the slot on the right side, and just time to turn the corner, and he's close to the first down. He needed a couple. That was Pat Jordan again, made a jersey tackle. And we'll see where they spot this thing here. It's very close to the marker.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're giving it to him.
And they just gestured.
Oh, great.
Benjamin Lagaki, the referee, stepped in, says move the chains, and the Warriors have a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line of Eureka.
Oh, that's great. 1st and 10 and the 32 is enviable position.
This is going to be Drew Mears in space, and a strong run after catch down near the 20-yard line. He took a couple of Red Devils. That was Ezekiel and Johnson who went for a bit of a ride. Drew Mears moves it down just outside the red zone.
Drew Mears is a physical receiver. I mean, on that particular one, he just basically put his shoulder down and got some yards and ran through some people there for a couple extra.
8:47 clock runs, opening quarter. Warriors on the drive, no score. And Liam Hygis has a hole that closed quickly down to the 15-yard line.
Offensive line right now is controlling the front. They've had a number of different active blocks going on, and they're controlling the front. Whoop, we moved a little early.
Yep, looks like the left guard, Eric Rodriguez.
5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Rodriguez was named the team's Warrior of the Week last week after playing really well, coming off that injury at Lake Forest in week 1. One of the regular captains as a season-long captain, but kind of a double captainship here today. 2nd down and 8 for Wisconsin Lutheran. And again, they keep it on the ground with Liam Hygis, and he runs into Akeem Demun.
That's just man-on-man blocking. They're not doing any complicated things yet. They're just trying to give Liam a little bit of a seam, giving him a chance to see what's opening up.
3 fresh defensive bodies at the line. Hygis dropped the football, and he fell right back on top of it. May have lost a yard or so back near the 24-yard line.
And here comes Arnulfo to get it through and add to his record-setting field goal number that he's got in his career.
That number is 19. So from the 19 line of scrimmage, 36-yarder. He was 3 for 4 last week. Nobody has made more field goals than Arnulfo Ortega. Chevy the snap, the hold from Hidalgo, and this is blocked at the line. And in the end zone, it will be deadened right there. Hanson Johnson got his hand on the Ortega attempt from about 36 yards out. So after Eureka fumbled the football and the Warriors got it in plus territory, Eureka comes back with a big special teams play to keep it scoreless. A little over 7 to go in the opening quarter.
And really what probably started that bad motion was the snap was a little high, and by the time he handled the snap well and got it down, the timing was off just enough, and it was a very low kick and ended up getting blocked.
So the Red Devils' drive begins at their own 19-yard line. And the handoff is to Angel Garcia. Straight ahead, short gain of a couple. I mentioned that Eureka lost last week 27-7 at home to Greenville. Last week, Eureka on the ground went for 107.
That last play was a really nice play by Layson Handwork. It wasn't a stunt at all. He just read the play and came up and really made a nice tackle on that.
2nd down and 8 for the Red Devils. And Tollett to throw. And he does to the right side. Got his man, short gain. That is Nathaniel Vroman, the freshman from Hilliard, Florida, 5'7" freshman wide receiver.
And what was so great about defensively on that play is they rallied so well to the point where number 91, Alan Tavares, was in on the tackle on a perimeter play. And that's great when your defensive guys are running around like that.
Second possession for the Red Devils here tonight. First one ended in a fumble. 3rd down and 4 from the 26. This crowd trying to rally the defense. And the toss. Butler had it for a moment, then he lost it when he hit the ground. Connor Martin was right there to level the hit. And it's ruled incomplete.
And that was one of the first stunts of the night with the linebackers coming. They were playing man on the outside, and they came, great idea with the 3rd and that distance to try to put a little pressure and not let the quarterback just sit back there and find the open receiver, and contributed to that incompletion.
Woods is on to punt.
I'm told that we feel like we can put some good pressure on punts in this game, so we'll see what happens.
Almost got there. Nice punt.
That
Tight
is a
spiral.
nice punt.
Connor Martin back at the 31. Straight ahead. Sideline sprint for Connor Martin. And we'll see where they rule him out. They'll mark it at the 47-yard line, so good field position for the Warriors. Not as good as plus territory, but they'll take it at the 47 with 5:38 to go here in the opening quarter. So looking for our first points.
Yep, sorry. That was a impressive punt. I mean, that got height and it got distance, and we did a nice job in that return.
Woods averaging 36.2 yards per punt through the first 2 weeks for the Red Devils.
Well, we got the player of the week in the game right now.
Yeah, stop the presses. Carson Kohler's out there for a play before halftime. Carson Kohler's got a carry in the first half, and the reigning NAC Offensive Player of the Week trying to find the edge, and the Red Devils having no part of it. Great lateral speed there by Eureka's linebacking core. It was ultimately the defensive back, Akeem Demin, that made the stop initially, and then his teammates helped him out.
Yeah, there was just nothing there. He was looking, and eventually was going to run out of real estate. So good defensive play by the Blue Devils.
2nd down and 10. Kohler again to the right side, lowers his shoulder, showing some physicality as he takes it to the midfield stripe for a short gain of 3. Those two guys last week, Kohler with 175 and 3 touchdowns, Hygis 179 and a touchdown. Don't forget Seth Voller, the savvy senior at the very end, got a score.
Nice touchdown,
5 rushing touchdowns for the Warriors.
Yeah, very, very impressive.
So from midfield, it's 3rd down and 7. 4:30 left in a scoreless opening frame. Low snap, Bryce Barbian has time, sprints away from the pressure there of Peyton Jr. and incomplete.
We actually probably were fortunate there wasn't a holding call on that play. Anytime that quarterback has to flush out like that, the linemen are just not ready. He's not supposed to be out there, and so they start getting their hands out there a little bit. Here's a real punt.
The first quote-unquote real punt of the home season is upon us. It's Mears, by the way.
We'll see what his season average is after this one.
Parhams is back. And here is a short spiral, going to hit at around the 23. And come stop at about the 21. Elijah Chevy was down there. The long snapper who has been spectacular, doing a lot of the little things. 4:10 to go here in the opening quarter, and Eureka will have it. Scoreless ball game. Been a nice night. Had a great little pregame, not little at all. It was a pregame reception at a nearby hotel.
Yep.
Coach,
yeah, it was
how
awesome.
was that?
It was awesome. You walk in the room and it's like a surprise party when you walk in there. Everywhere you look are people that you know and you have a relationship with, and it was awesome. A lot of stories told. A couple of them were true, and it was great.
We'll get into more of that as we roll through the broadcast.
Sure.
Makari Moss on this first carry of the night.
Very nice. Physical play.
Out across the 21-yard line, short gain, if anything. Handwork, got his hands in there and made the initial contact. Mentioned Angel Garcia, the senior running back, was the starter at that position for Randy Starks' squad here in his first season.
Yeah, Kurt Barth was the longtime coach, and this is his first season at the helm.
Jack Butler wide to the right. Vroman wide to the left. Stacked backfield. And the tail of the tandem, the carry is Moss,
Right.
and he loses about 4 yards on the play. Nathan Nevad with the stop for negative yardage.
And if you were to capsulize a defensive structure change from a year ago to now, that play probably captures it as well as any. There's a lot of people coming from different directions. Oftentimes it's not a blitz, it just ends up being 3 or 4 guys. But because they're coming from every particular angle, it's very difficult to predict and deal with.
All right, so it's going to be 3rd and 13 for Eureka. Snap comes to Tollett. Toss to the near side. Vroman tight roping. Let's see where he stepped out. Malik Gordon, the junior defensive back from Texas, made the stop, and he got the first down on 3rd and 13 out to the 31. He needed 13, and he got it.
He did, and I have a suspicion that Coach Donovan may be talking to the DBs at the next time they're on the side to just not give up quite that much territory, even though you're in a zone look.
So a big pickup there for the Eureka Red Devils on 3rd and very long. Man in motion is Vroman. And the snap to Tollett, and he's hit as he throws, and it's nearly intercepted on the play by Brandon Ansick. Oh my goodness, pick 6. He was smelling it. Gabe Cole, the freshman defensive lineman, was the reason why the quarterback, Brandon Tollett, had to get rid of it when he did.
Yeah, and Brandon that's not something you forget about. He's going to be thinking about that tonight and until he gets his next interception, probably until then. He is all over the field, though. He is a ball hawk.
2nd down and 10 for Eureka. Blitz picked up. Handoff Moss. He's hit as he crosses the 35-yard line. Xavion Allen, one of the Warriors, in on the stop. Gain of about 5.
He really did. Xavion really did a nice job on that. Coming up, he had to shed a block to get there, and is able to bring the guy down as a cornerback. That's a very good play.
So it's 3rd and 5 as we approach 90 seconds to go here in a scoreless first quarter. There has been 1 turnover so far, a Eureka fumble, but it didn't cost them as Ortega had a 36-yard field goal blocked.
Looks like they're manned up on the outside. Expect some pressure.
Snap to Tollett to his left. Now steps up, throws off his back foot out near the 45-yard line, and he connects. It's a pickup of 9 for Eureka. It was Montrell Boykins on the catch, and another 3rd down and long, medium-ish there, conversion. Martin on the stop.
Yeah, it was well thrown. It was on a line, and it got there in a hurry. When they blitz like that and they're putting people man-to-man, you really want to get home because otherwise they're on an island, and if they run a decent route, even with good coverage, you can complete the pass.
1st and 10 for Eureka with under 60 seconds left here in the opening quarter. 3 wide receivers to the left. Tollett over the middle. In the vicinity was Butler for Eureka.
Got to jam him off the line a little bit. That was a pretty clean release. I think we got to get something on that to slow that down just a little bit because he got into the secondary very quickly.
Stops the clock. Remember, it wasn't last week until the second half when the Warriors offense really started punishing the opposition. Similar start here today against Eureka in the conference opener. Tollett and the handoff. Nothing inside. Moss looks outside. Beg your pardon, that's Jaden Crowder. First time we've seen Crowder, a freshman from Springfield, Illinois.
Probably the difference so far between last week and this week is that we were getting 3 and outs on defense and getting off, giving the offense opportunities to get back on the field and, kind of get some things going. Offensively, what you need to do is get a rhythm, and if you're not out there very much, it's pretty hard to get a rhythm. So I think we just got to stiffen up defensively and give the ball back to the offense.
That's the end of the first quarter. No score, Eureka and the Warriors. It's Eureka in Warriors territory when we come back. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday under the lights. You're watching Warriors.
You're watching Warriors football live from Robbie Stadium on WLCSports.com.
Wisconsin Lutheran College. Academic excellence, real-world experience, Christian values. Discover your purpose. WLC.edu/purpose.
Set to begin quarter number 2 with Dennis Miller and Wayne Chevy. I'm Scott Warris. Thanks for finding us. Thanks for joining us with Eureka. A 3rd down and 4 from the 48-yard line. And Talit to throw, and he's got another first down conversion as he was able to find Jack Butler. That is the third down conversion for the Red Devils.
He's really throwing the ball well right now. That was just a good throw. We probably have to close on that slant a little bit better and maybe get a hand on it or a collision just as the ball arrives. But I didn't know they could play that during the.
Well,
Eric is more patient than I am.
14-20 here in the second quarter. Talit is hit.
There it is.
Talit is wrapped up and taken down right at the 50-yard line. Lace and handwork. He was the first one there.
Excellent job.
Let's check in real quick, Coach. Let's check in with Wayne Chevy. He's downstairs.
We've put together, Eureka's put together a couple of first downs, but as much as we've talked about the offense, the defense has been stout. Only 21 points against Lake Forest, only 13 last week. Kind of bend but don't break. I know you're talking about lots of 3 and outs, but I think we're still in a good spot with our defense, and we just got that sack right there.
2nd down and 17 from the 50-yard line. Warriors show blitz. Talit to throw, far sidelines, and they'll get the yardage back that they lost on the sack. Xavion Allen on the punishing hit brings up 3rd and 10.
Yep, somebody got punished on that one. I couldn't. They both went backwards on that, so that was pretty physical play on that side of the ball.
Well, here we go. Another 3rd and long for Eureka. Remember, they hit one on 3rd and 13 already earlier in this game. And 3rd and 10 here. Talit out of the shotgun formation. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. The running back is Jaden Crowder, and Talit to throw, has time, far side, and he was unable to connect with the freshman Johnny Brazil. It was around the shoe tops. It would have been short of the marker. Nathan Nevad on the coverage from the linebacking core. 4th and 10 now from the 43.
And they're bringing in the punt unit, and we're going back. Connor to field it.
Tresky and company very happy with Connor Martin.
Oh, he
fielding
did a
punts
great
last week.
job last week. Yep, great
and specifically
job.
The improvement from week 1.
No doubt. Yep.
To week to week 2. Woods, the punter, he's been good so far. Oh, not this one, however. Shanked it out of bounds. Oh my goodness, this is going to be at least the 45 of the Warriors. Make it the 46 of the Warriors. That means that was, I can do this math, an 11-yard net punt. Took me longer than I probably should have, but an 11-yard punt for Woods.
And I don't think that was touched, was it? I mean, that was just punted. Yeah. Okay. That'll hurt the average.
Well, the Warriors have started on their own 37, the Eureka 42, and their own 47. This one will be their own 46. And Barbian hands it off to Carson Kohler, and he was hit in the backfield by Brent Potts. My goodness, you talk about beating your man off the snap. That's what Potts did right there.
Well, and knocked Rodriguez off his track immediately. He didn't even have an opportunity to get over to his block point. He was knocked off his track down onto the ground, which is a big shot.
Eureka playing the run very well so far, and there's a little contact, and looks like it was number 90, Justin Doyle, who came across. For Eureka, let's see if he was baited as the officials get together.
It looked like it was on Eureka, but good. That takes away the loss on the previous play and puts us in a lot better second down territory.
First penalty of the night for Eureka. Warriors with a couple of flags against them so far. Second down and 9 from the 47. Kohler, the running back. Barbian to throw, looking deep, has a man. It's Hawkins, and they can't connect.
You know, prior to the snap, I saw him playing man-to-man, tight coverage, nobody over the top with the safety looking to the other side. They're not going to cover Hawkins that way. He's just too fast for that, and that was one of those long, almost completions that we're going to hit later in the game.
Well, we saw the value of that last week. Even on the incompletions, those deep shots meant big things for the running game. Third down and 9 here for the Warriors. There's a
quad
set
formation, yep.
Cluster of 4 there at the top of your screen. Kohler picked up the blitz nicely. Barbian to throw. He's got his man. It's a first down inside the 40-yard line.
Every game I watch him throw, and every game I see throws and just go, man, that kid has got an arm on him.
That was Hidalgo, Nate Hidalgo. To the 39.
Quads again to the right.
It's a 14-yard pickup. Here's Hidalgo again. In space, made one man miss, and then his forward progress will give him about a yard or so.
And I think offensively they're okay with having him make one guy miss. It's just that a couple of guys got off blocks and were able to close on it. But that quad formation is unique, and it's kind of interesting to see how Eureka's going to play it, how many people they're going to commit over there.
In Shamiramana Ezekiel on the stop.
Now you're just showing off.
Well,
That's
you
good
know,
job. Yep.
Catching my stride.
Yep.
Second and 9. And Kohler. Eureka, they've done a good job of sure tackling so far. That wasn't something Buena Vista did well last week. Tyler Lundy, the latest example.
Yeah, they have done a very nice job throughout, actually. I think that, you know, looking only at stats, they're outplaying their stats at this point.
Third down and 8. And the Warriors, who get to the line quickly with a lot of time yet on the play clock.
Here we go again on this side. It's one-on-one with no help over the top on Hawkins. And I don't know if Eric is – we'll see.
It's Parham's on Hawkins. Barbian looking for Hawkins. They burned him that time. Touchdown Warriors all the way from the snap. Parham's one-on-one with Emmett Hawkins. And for the first time this year, Hawkins is in the end zone. And the Warriors have scored through the air for the first time.
And now we'll see how they adjust to that, because that's 2 plays in a row that they played it with that way. And honestly, it's with a kid as fast as Hawkins, it's not real sound to do that, because if he gets off the DB, he's gone.
So the Warrior passing game comes through for the first score of the night. 6-0. Ortega makes it 7-0 with 10:28 to go here in the opening quarter. The speedster, Emmett Hawkins, first team All-MAC a season ago. The sophomore from Cudahy, Wisconsin, makes it 7-0.
That's a really nice job on Coach Tresky's part, and the coaches, I'm sure, up in the box here, to just be able to see that see that play the previous time that it was almost a hit, and basically they probably came to the line of scrimmage saying, okay, if they show us that look again, we're going to it. And the ball was well thrown. Hawkins did a nice job. He got inside the DB. He kept it high. He didn't bring it over to the safety and was able to just get it and run away with it.
First touchdown catch for Hawkins on the season. First touchdown pass for Bryce Barbian on the season. He had 20 of those in 9 games a season ago.
Yeah, he's only going to get better. He's only a junior and is only going to get better this year.
To kick off for the Warriors. Back to receive for Eureka. Number 13.
Nikolai Amaya Overchuk, who handles the kickoffs for Wisconsin Lutheran. Sophomore from the Dells. End over end kick, and it drives Boykins back inside his 10. Darting it outside with a stiff arm out near the 25-yard line. That'll be about a 19-yard return for Boykins. The special teams tackle for the Warriors will go to Chris Korb, and Eureka now trailing 7-0. 10:21 left before halftime. Let's see what the Red Devils do. They've been good so far tonight in terms of converting on third downs. They've had some sustained drives. They do have a fumble already, however.
That was an excellent job on the kick coverage. That was a point of emphasis this week, and they've really done a nice job on that. On that particular one, they had people all over the place.
Angel Garcia, the starting running back, his first carry since the first quarter. Kubaki on the stop, the veteran fifth-year graduate student, really, from the defensive line spot.
Yep, Kubaki and Handwork were there again, and you're going to hear their names a lot tonight. They're tried and true players for the Warriors' defensive side of the ball.
2nd down and 7 now for Eureka. From the 27-yard line. Kamoni Davis has checked in, a freshman wide out to the left. And Tollett's pass is deflected up into the air. It's incomplete. Nearly taken down by an offensive lineman and then nearly intercepted as well by Kyle Kubaki. But the referee said the nose of the football hit the turf and it's incomplete.
And again, that pressure was put on the quarterback with just 4 men, just a four-man rush. There was no additional people involved in that. We can play great coverage behind it and send 4, and their question, where are they coming from, is working.
We'll check in with Wayne after this play. Braden Tollett, I beg your pardon. Snap to his left. They've having issues there. He corrals, he throws, and it's incomplete. Double coverage downfield looking for Nathaniel Vroman. Okay, Rev, what you got?
Vroman, the intended receiver.
You can see all the honorary people here for the 25th anniversary. They enjoyed that last touchdown pass to Hawkins. Obviously, the running game's been bottled up a little bit. Maybe that long pass will open things up a little bit more for our running game. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to talk to some of these people in the second half, when we start stretching this lead.
Oh, Wayne Chevy, always the optimist. That is the plan, Rev. That is the plan. Okay, 4th down here. Punt coming on for Eureka. Great job by the Warrior defense with Martin. And it hits off the helmet.
Free ball. Go get it.
It is a ball that is downed at the 47. That was Vroman's helmet that the punt hit. And that could have been even more disastrous than it already was from the Eureka perspective.
Yep, and embarrassing. It's a double whammy on that one. You don't feel good about it happening, and it's pretty bad when it does.
9:22 left before halftime. Yeah, as Rev said, dozens and dozens of alumni here.
And now Eureka has adjusted on defense. They brought a safety over on Hawkins, so he's not one-on-one as he was before.
This time, Bryce Barbian went to the far side. He was looking for Jameel Gordon, and Derek Payton Jr. pressured the quarterback, Bryce Barbian. Actually got a hit on Bryce.
Now we'll see what Eric does with that information. Now that he has a sense in this formation, how they're gonna cover this.
2nd down and 10. Kohler. Nothing for Carson Kohler. Got back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and 10. And Eureka continues to flow really nicely to the ball. Justin Doyle and Tyler Lundy combined on the stop there. Warriors tonight are 3 out of 6 on their 3rd downs, and they have a 3rd and 10 right here, right now.
Which honestly, if they can end the game at 50%, I think everyone would be happy with that. Most teams look for 40% on their 3rd down conversions, so we just got to keep it going.
2 to the left and 1 to the right. Low snap. Bryce looking left, has a man. Catch is made. Emmett Hawkins, 1st down and more, as Hawkins is pushed out of bounds inside the 30, near the 25-yard line. A 22-yard gain for Hawkins. And the stop there credited to Inshamir Amana Ezekiel.
And all kinds of time. Offensive line did a great job, stoned him at the line of scrimmage, and Bryce stood back there with nobody near his vision or his feet and just threw it.
They go quickly here. The snap is on the turf, and the quarterback Barbian rolls on top of it. Ooh.
That was close.
Again, the Warriors, as we talked in the pregame show, tempo important. They want to go quickly. This is a very, I would call it, deliberate Eureka defense, the way they get the call in, the way they then set up. And if the Warriors can go quickly, that could add confusion on the defensive side of the ball. 2nd down and 11 now for Wisconsin Lutheran College. Fake the handoff to Hygis. Toss flat left. This is Gordon, and he'll be pushed out of bounds on the near sidelines by Daniel Parhams, and once again, our good friend Inshamir Amana Ezekiel.
And Emmett Hawkins, you know, we always talk about his speed and his catching ability and so on. Great block on the outside on that particular time.
3 wide receivers to the right here for the Warriors, leading 7-0, midway through the 2nd. Hygis has a hole. Liam Hygis has himself a 21-yard touchdown run. Initial contact by Ezekiel. Hygis ran through the arm tackle attempt. He found the end zone, and the Warriors have a 2-touchdown lead.
And again, what you see with his running is you see him hesitate behind the line of scrimmage, hesitate, wait for something to open up, and then he's got the burst to get it through untouched. Special back.
2nd career rushing touchdown. Ran into him in the hallway this week in the Rex. He doesn't look like a freshman.
No, he's not built like a freshman.
Without the pads even, he doesn't look like a freshman, as Ortega is 2 for 2 on his PATs tonight, and the Warriors have a 14-0 lead over the Eureka Red Devils.
That was really a nice drive because they ran, they passed, you know, they did all of it. They got stoned on a play, and all of a sudden they're not exactly where they want to be on the chains. Didn't phase them at all. They just got back going again, and that was a complete drive because run, pass, all of it was there for them that time.
There was balance, without a doubt.
You know, Hygis might be that kind of a back that when he works up a lather, he continues to get better and better. I mean, he had a lot of carries last week.
Well, look, Eric Tresky said, I kept going to him late in that 2nd quarter last week. Do you need a breather? Do you need a break? No, coach, I'm good. No, coach, I'm good. And he was.
I love that. I mean, you love guys like that.
The men back, Devon Isom to the near side, and Montrell Boykins on the far side here for Eureka. Amaya Overchuk on the approach, another kickoff to the near side. And Isom, as that one goes out of bounds, and that means decent field position to start this drive here for Eureka.
Yeah, and the last kickoff that he had got it down to between the 5 and the 4 yard line, so he has the ability certainly to boom it. You see the offensive line sitting down there and talking to each other. What I love about what I'm seeing now is Hygis is over talking to all the line and basically saying, thanks, brother, you got the hole open for me. I had the easy part.
Well, so far here tonight, Braden Tollett is 5 out of 11 for 39 yards. He has been sacked once in this game. Came in late last week in relief of his teammate Caden Frazier with an ankle injury. Handoff goes to Angel Garcia straight ahead, and he'll spin his way for a gain of about 5 out near the 40, maybe the 41-yard line, and Kubaki, the veteran from St. Francis. Coach, stop. My apologies.
No,
Sorry.
mine. Defensively, we had all the gaps covered. The kid the running back had a little bit of a momentum, and was able to kind of move the pile, but we're exactly where we want to be on that play.
Again, you got Tavares and Kubaki up front. Actually, Gabe Cole in there right now as well for a 3-man line, and down goes the ball carrier. It was Alan Tavares. And an injury here for the Red Devils. That was the ball carrier.
That was a pretty clean run through defensively. That was a clean, hard hit on the ball carrier. Can't catch his number exactly, but
it is a situation as they tend to him now. Coach, welcome back inside the broadcast booth. Good job on the coin toss, by the way. It was you and Ben Murphy, the only two guys, other than Eric Tresky, the current head coach, to wear the hat, to wear those shoes.
Yeah.
Good job with the toss. Did they have you toss it or just call
no,
it? How
it was
does
really
that work?
disappointing. I was not happy about that at all, but the ref did a decent job for us in our place. But it was fun to be on the field again.
You said that was the first time you'd step back on the field in 5 years?
Well, in any kind of
game
any kind of capacity other than I wander around the field once in a while and watch practice.
Oh, okay.
I probably shouldn't say wander around. It sounds like some old man that doesn't belong here, but
and it is during practice.
It's
not like they come out and they go,
"No, what's that
what's
guy
coach doing?"
Yeah.
Hey, just let him go.
No. And Eric is very kind. He lets me on the field all the time.
Well, the injured Red Devil is Angel Garcia. It was Garcia. Wanted to make sure we had the right name and number before we mention injuries. Always the senior running back, the starter, favoring his lower leg as he's helped off. Great crowd tonight, by the way. You can see the shots there behind the bench. It's homecoming. What's nice, and Eric Tresky said this, when we talked this week a couple of times, because these Saturdays in the fall are so busy with so many other student athletes competing, you play a night game and you can get a lot of other athletes to come out and support the football program because their competitions are done.
Exactly, and that's what it looks right here. You can see a lot of green Warrior shirts all over the place, so there's a lot of athletes here, and a lot of alumni are back, a lot of parents. Great night.
Okay, it's 3rd and 6, and Tollett throws to the near side, catches made. Brazil, he will be stopped very close to the first down marker. Xavion Allen made it very, very close, and it looks like we've got a good vantage point. It's going to be about a half-yard shy here for Eureka.
Man, so the coach in me is sitting here thinking, I'm down 14 points. I got to make a yard. If I don't, I'm giving them the ball in great field position with plenty of time. This is not an easy decision on the part of Eureka.
Makari Moss is the new running back in place of the injured Angel Garcia. Red Devils are 0 for 1 on the season on 4th down. And to the deliberative comment you made, Randy Starks in his first year with Eureka is going to talk this thing over and hem and haw and weigh the options. He'll huddle up his team. This is the first called timeout of the night for the Red Devils.
And that's exactly what happened. He was deliberating it long enough on the sideline before they called the timeout, where he had no alternative but to call a timeout, because it's not an easy decision. I know everybody that watches it and sits at home and says, I go for it. That's not the easiest thing to go. Now, they don't have their number one running back in. He just got hurt. He's out. We've got a stout defensive line up front. I haven't seen the quarterback take many snaps under center, so there's a lot of things that are not necessarily working to their advantage.
There you saw the student section, which has turned out in force here tonight at Robbie Stadium. 4th and 1, Tollett on the handoff, running near side. This is Moss, and he's going to stretch it out across the 45, and he just does get enough for a first down. Connor Martin combining with Will Craig on the stop for the Warriors. Almost kept him behind the marker, but he just did get enough.
And they didn't even try to go up the middle. They knew that it was kind of stacked against them the way it was, and the young man, the running back, did a nice job. It just bounced into the outside. He didn't need to get very far. He just needed to fall forward.
Warriors with a couple of touchdowns here in the second quarter to lead it 14-0. Fresh set of downs now for Tollett and company. Fake the handoff, toss to the flat. Vroman is not going anywhere. In fact, he's going to lose a couple of yards on the play as Brandon Ansick combined with Mitchell Smarzinski on the stop and a loss of 3.
Yeah, and Brandon was all over that play. As soon as the ball was thrown out, he was on a dart to it. Just an excellent play, and then other people rallied to the play and got him down.
Under 5 to go before halftime. 2nd and 12.
They sent a lot of people that time.
And again, it's Moss. And he's stopped at the line of scrimmage for no gain. It'll be another 3rd and long for Eureka, which again hasn't been all that bad for them. Savon Goodwin, we call his name for the first time.
You know, when you can run blitz, so blitz, knowing it may not be a pass, blitz, and still make that kind of a tackle on a run, that's very impressive.
So again, 3rd and 12. Eureka 3 out of 7 on their 3rd downs, but they do have a 13-yard conversion. Fake the handoff, blitz is on, throws in pressure, catch Moss out of the backfield, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and nothing after that. Savon Goodwin was there for the Warriors. Handwork helped as well. Those two work in tandem as good as any linebackers in this conference.
Yep, they do. And again, what a nice defensive play. All kinds of pressure. Forced the throw probably a little sooner than they would have liked to. And then Savon is out there, and Handwork is out there, and it's just a nice play.
4th punt of the opening half.
Got to have a penalty.
And you called it, Coach. That'll stop the punt in mid-flight.
Offense, number 20. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Penalty against Silvano Martinez. Coming up at halftime, had a chance this week to talk with Elijah Edwards, one of the young men on the Warriors team this year. Young man who is a running back on the team and sings in a couple of choirs at WLC. Real charismatic young man. Enjoyed our minutes with Elijah, and that conversation comes up at halftime. We use those halftime spotlight interviews to really feature the students of the student athletes and all the good stuff they do off the football field, and you're going to like the convo we had with Elijah. So stick around. Halftime interview in 4, make it 3:23 or so. Punt is away. Martin signals fair catch, and on his knees, he'll make it at the 46. There's some contact late, but no penalty flag. And so with 3:18 to go before the break and the Warriors up 14-zip, they'll have the possession. Remember, they have 3 timeouts as well. Good starting field position. This sets up favorably in terms of all those X factors.
It really does. And don't forget, they have the 2-minute timeout. So they got 4 opportunities to stop the ball, stop the clock, so they can do anything they want with the ball.
Mears is checked on to the bottom. They'll keep it on the ground. Liam Hygis, a gain of 4 to the 45. Justin Doyle on the stop.
And no sense of urgency whatsoever. They don't need to. They're just lining up.
This time, fake the handoff. Toss to the far side. Going down to make that catch. For the Warriors was Hawkins, 19.
I actually thought he had his knee on the ground. I
hesitated.
Yeah, I couldn't see from here, but I thought, oh, they're going to stop that, but apparently not.
The 42-yard line or so of Eureka.
Playing very loose behind. They're not going to let a big play happen.
Gordon in space. Jamil near another first down. Going to be marked just shy. Ezekiel and Parham's combining on the stop. 2:12 and the clock runs. And again, that 2-minute timeout in college football is mere moments away. Hygis stepped out of one tackle, reverses course, now reverses again, and he's got a first down. He went about, 10 yards to get 6 or 5, but a first down. Ezekiel on the stop. And so the 2-minute timeout comes with $1:58.
And on that particular run, Hygis took the ball, went all the way to the right side beyond the tackle tight end area, turned around, came back all the way to the left side tackle tight end area, scooted back up the middle. It was, like you said, ultimately it wasn't like a huge gain, but it was an impressive short run.
Warriors 14-0. They have the lead, and they're looking for more. Let's check in with Wayne Chevy, shall we?
I was listening to Coach talk about the 2-minute timeout and no urgency. What a benefit it is to have that extra time. You take your time, you set up some plays, you get to maybe put 2 or 3 into motion. I also heard you talk about that screen pass. Did not have the knee down on that. I thought that was a very good call. Sometimes those are difficult. We got the benefit of the yardage on that.
So again, the Warriors still have 3 of their own timeouts, you might say.
Okay, now they're putting, okay, it's changing now.
Gordon goes in motion from left to right to the top. So you're going to have Gordon and Hawkins.
I think they're a little confused offensively here.
Top of your screen.
Nope, okay.
To the left, it's Mears. And the running back is Hygis. And Hygis the carry. And into the pile. Stopped at the 25-yard line by Tyler Lundy and Pat Jordan as well for the Red Devils.
They probably wanted to get up to the line, get their play called.
Second down and about 7 here for the Warriors. And again, they get to the line quickly.
Okay, there's no over-the-top help on the top as you're looking at it over to Hawkins. On the top side, there's no over-the-top help, and he's playing tight. Same way he got burned on the touchdown the last time.
It's Akeem Demon up there against Hawkins, and they're looking for Hawkins. A rainbow toss, and it was nearly picked off by Akeem Demon. That throw went a little to the outside as Hawkins kind of sliced towards the goalpost center of the end zone, Coach.
Yep, and Eric is seeing on the sideline the same thing we're seeing up here, which is they're trying to single him up. And that particular time, the corner did a really nice job at getting his hands on him, really slowing him down and really kind of running with him. I mean, the officials let him play there and kind of took that play away.
This timeout is taken by Eureka, their second of this opening half, so the Warriors still have their full complement of timeouts with 70 seconds to go before halftime. This is a Eureka Red Devils squad that is an affiliate of the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference in football. They joined the league for football purposes in 2018. The Warriors have been good of late, winning the last 3, averaging 54 points per game against the Red Devils in those last 3 matchups.
I tell you, last year was a special time for me to watch it. We were on a little trip kind of out of the state. And they were playing a night game again last year, and I remember sitting in the hotel and putting the iPad up and watching the game, and it was just a dominant win by the Warriors last year. So we've kind of had our way with them a little bit recently. Keep that going.
Last year scored 42. Year before that, 51. Year before that, 68. Yep, the offense has been good in this 3-game winning streak in the series. 3rd and 7 here for the Warriors from the 26-yard line, and Bryce Barbian hands it off to Liam Hygis. Looking outside, he's undercut at around the 22-yard line for a gain of 4 on the play. Brandon Inakis on the stop. He combined with Parhams for Eureka. And it's 4th and, well, maybe 2, a yard and a half if you're an optimist here for the Warriors at the 22-yard line or so, maybe the 21.
Probably going to milk it down. Call the timeout right before they have to, right before the play clock runs out, and then Arnulfo will run on and kick another field goal.
Clock put back into motion here. Again, the Warriors have plenty of timeouts. Eric Tresky standing right next to the official along the near sidelines. And he takes it here with 28 on the game clock just before the play clock expires. So the strategy continues here for Wisconsin Lutheran. Again, you've got a good kicker in Arnulfo Ortega. This is going to be, we'll call it a 4th and 2 upcoming.
Yeah, I think they're going to kick it, but we'll see what he chooses to do on this, because I think it's in his range, certainly.
Ortega, 3 for 5 on the season. His long this year is 31, but he's hit from well over 40 in his illustrious Warriors career, and he makes his way out to the field right now. So this will be a 38-yarder. Angle to the left. Again, the hold is Nate Hidalgo, and the long snapper is Chevy. 38-yarder. Lines are down for Arnulfo Ortega, who's had one block tonight.
Good snap.
Penalty flag. And on 4th and 2, if this is against Eureka, this could give the Warriors a first down. And it looks like they could be pointing the Red Devils' way. You talk about a back-breaking mistake.
Oh, man. I would not want to be in that locker room with Eureka when they go in at halftime, because the coach is not going to be happy about that one.
Did he say illegal signals given? Does that mean the linemen are maybe barking stuff out to disrupt the snap count there?
Yep, exactly.
Interesting. So that changes things rather significantly. 1st and 10 for the Warriors at the 16-yard line with 27 seconds.
And 3 timeouts.
Trips to the right. 1 to the left. Hawkins to the bottom of your screen.
Singled up again.
One-on-one there with Daniel Parhams. Burned him earlier. They keep it on the ground, and diving his way inside the 15-yard line is going to be Liam Hygis. Brandon Indicus on the stop. And now Tresky makes the timeout signal, and it's granted with 19 seconds.
Yep. He's done a really nice job at the clock management with the 2-minute timeout and his timeouts, and maximizing when Eureka took their timeouts. It's been perfect.
Let's quickly check in with Wayne Chevy during the timeout.
I was listening to you guys up there. Eureka was the one who called the timeout there before they ran the field goal unit out there. So this is just the first timeout that WLC has taken. So there's still 2 left as they're here now in the red zone.
22 seconds remaining.
It's interesting. They would call that timeout then.
Yeah, I thought it was the Warriors initially,
Yeah, because we were going to either get a 5-yard penalty or call timeout. So that's interesting. If they were going to do that, maybe should have done it earlier.
All right, 2nd and 9 for the Warriors. At the 15-yard line. Low snap. Bryce picks it up, looks to Hawkins, and he's pushed out of bounds. Made the catch. Got the feet in at around the 6-yard line. Again, it's the Parhams-Hawkins matchup. They continue to exploit it when Parhams is on him.
And the corner bailed on that, so it looked like he was playing a little bit more press cover, but prior to the snap, he bailed. And I don't know if that was a conversion on their part, but that was a great play.
It was a conversion on first down, or on second down, so it's a 1st and goal here for the Warriors. With 19 seconds to go, and they're inside the 6. Trying for a late score. Fake the handoff. Bryce hit as he throws over the middle, and he was looking for Gordon near the center of the end zone. It was incomplete. Good coverage there by Akeem Demon. Had something there on a crossing pattern or so, Coach. Something across the top.
Yeah, it actually looked like at least double slants. If I had replay, we could look at that again, but it had a couple of slants going on in there.
All right, 15 seconds to go. And again, the Warriors, a 2nd down and goal from the 6-yard line, and Barbian has time to look over. Eric Tresky, head coach, offensive coordinator, sends the signal in. Hawkins to the left, joined there as well by Hidalgo, and Barbian looking left, now dancing with time. Penalty flag comes in. Back right corner of the end zone. The catch is made. It is a touchdown.
It's in a flag's in a bad spot.
Well, I mentioned the fact that Bryce had time to throw, and maybe it was because of a hold.
Yeah, it may be. It's not a good spot right there.
Now remember, it was
The receiver was forced out. There was no illegal touching. Holding, offense number 62, 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay the down.
Vinny Brim, the right tackle, the guilty party on the hold for Wisconsin Lutheran. 7 seconds left, and
They have one play.
be second and goal from about the 16-yard line after the holding 10-yard penalty.
They can get 2 plays, but I'm saying they have one play that's going to take them down to like the 3-second mark, and then they're going to have to decide timeout or field goal.
Fourth penalty of the first half for Wisconsin Lutheran. As Eric Tresky in his 5th year has his offense right there. Bryce Barbian, number 7, there in the huddle right in front of him. Those two guys have had now a second season of what I love to call the mind meld between an offensive play caller and his quarterback.
Yep, and that's really important. Once you get on the same page, you kind of anticipate what the other guy is thinking, and that makes play calling so much easier. I think it's going to be an interesting play call here because this is one of those, this is almost like a 2-point play where there's a specialty play that maybe you have in mind for this particular kind of situation. So it'll be fun to see what Eric pulls out of his sleeve on this one.
Okay, second down and goal. 7 seconds left in the opening half. 16-yard line is the line of scrimmage. To say they have room with which to work would be an understatement, as Bryce hit as he throws to the far side, coming back, making a nice fingertip grab with 2 seconds on the clock.
Kick it.
Is Gordon. Yes, Jameel Gordon made the catch. Akeem Demin pushed him out.
That was a nice, if they get 3 points on here, that was a nice drive, a nice way to end this half.
An 11-yard connection to the 5-yard line, so you're looking at about a 22-yarder for Ortega. Remember, the Warriors were set up for a field goal earlier on this drive, but on a 4th and short, 4th and 2, it was Eureka that had a pre-snap penalty.
And gave him new life is what they did. Players are excited on the sidelines.
There's some new life on the sidelines, too.
Yeah, players are excited. I tell you, that last play took long enough that as soon as it was over, I glanced to the clock to see if the time had run out because he stood back there for a little while to let that route develop for him.
And again, Ortega had one blocked in the opening quarter.
Guys like being on camera, don't they? They know they're on camera there.
How can you tell? All right, Arnulfo Ortega. 19 career field goals made, more than any kicker in the 24 prior years of Warriors football. $22-yarder. And the Warriors will take a 17-point lead into the locker room. Remember, it was scoreless after the first quarter, as Wisconsin Lutheran put 17 up in the second 15-minute segment, and they'll feel really good about what they did as they head to the locker room. Wisconsin Lutheran trying to win the NAC opener over Eureka. They got a matchup at Lakeland coming their way under the lights next Saturday. So to be able to get off on the very right foot is important. Let's go downstairs. Wayne Chevy is with the coach, Eric Tresky.
I'm down here at halftime with Coach Eric Tresky. What went into your decision to go for a field goal there at the end?
We got to take points. I want to get up at least 3 scores right now. Our defense is playing so well. We don't want to give them an opportunity to create momentum with 1 score, feeling like they're back in it.
What did you like about the defense in the first half?
Everything. They're flying around. They're making plays. They're mean, I love that group and the way that they're playing for each other. They picked us up offensively. We had some chances. We didn't finish, but the D, they kept us rolling.
Well, no, I'm going to ask you about that. Patience in the offense, right? You ended last week's game seeing like you were scoring at will. You come out and you're thinking, well, we're just going to do this again. You turn it over on downs. You have a punt. What's important about your patience on offense?
Well, I'll be honest. We came in thinking that tempo, going fast, was going to be a strength of ours. And then we didn't seem like we were ready for tempo. They were not set at all, and we were still delayed and stuff like that. So that was a little frustrating, but I'm proud. We rallied, we talked about it, we made some adjustments, as did they, and the guys came out and finished in the second quarter pretty strong.
Big pass to Emmett Hawkins to maybe loosen some things up, right? They're playing for the run, right? They gave up 280 yards last week. We had 396. Yep. So being able to mix some things up was helpful.
Yeah, it was. He's really fast. I should probably throw it to him and Jameel and those other guys a little more. So big play. Hopefully, they're willing to give us that play again. Otherwise, we'll start running the rock on them.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Okay, Wayne, thank you so very much. Boy, it was a slow starting first quarter for the Warriors, Dennis Miller, but that second quarter, they were really good. And their defense, we talk a lot about the running game, and rightfully so, but this is a defense that now, over its last 6 quarters, has allowed 13 points and basically 2 big plays, and they both came last week.
Right, yeah. Eric, in my opinion, is just spot on. They're playing so hard defensively right now, running all over the place, gang tackling, so on. And you could tell the offense, they may not have started as fast as they wanted to, but they're on a roll right now. It'll be fun to see this second half get going and see how they can expand on that first half of play that they've had.
Warriors with 225 first half total yards and a 17-0 lead at the break. When we come back, we'll let you know how the other games went around the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference today. Week 1 of NAC play. A couple of blowouts and a wild shootout in Chicago. Those scores as part of the halftime show when we come back. You're watching Warriors football.
The world is changing in powerful ways. You deserve an education that helps you meet the moment. Wisconsin Lutheran College. An academic and faith experience embedded in a close-knit community that activates your potential. Preparing you for life's critical moments so you can step into your unique purpose as a bold Christian leader. Take the first step at wlc.edu/purpose.
You're watching Warriors football live from Robbie Stadium on WLCSports.com.
Back inside Robbie Stadium, halftime with Dennis Miller, Scott Warris. Warriors have a 17-0 lead at the break. As we said, it's the conference opener, week 1 of NAC play all across the league. We'll get you some scores here in just a second. I'm just curious, did you ever, Coach, in all your time at WLC, did you ever change the message or address the fact it was the conference opener, or is it just kind of that next game mentality?
Well, I think it's always next game mentality, but I always made a point of conference football is different. And a lot of times it's because irregardless of what happened in the preseason, 2-0, 0-2, 1-1, doesn't matter. It's a fresh start right now in conference. So yeah, I always made a difference about conference.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at some of those conference scores around the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference. As I said, there were 2 blowouts and then a wild shootout. Let's talk about the blowouts. First of all, 19th ranked Aurora goes 49-0 against St. Norbert. Remember, in 2 weeks, the mighty Aurora Spartans, the reigning defending champions, will be here at Robbie Stadium, and they look to have picked up where they left off.
Aurora's got it going until somebody beats them in the league, and until somebody takes over ownership of being the best in the league, they own it. They've controlled the league. They've dominated virtually everyone in the league for the last few years. I'm not surprised at that score, and yet this is a new season, and we'll see how people stack up.
Meanwhile, it was Benedictine 34-7 over Rockford, the Eagles over the Regents, and Benedictine now 3-0 on the young season. More often than not, they're just a solid program. There's ebbs and flows like every program has over the longevity of a team, but more often than not, you're always going to get a battle-tested Eagles team.
Always.
It's always been that way.
When they have a bad year, they have a year that most people would be happy to have. They just are near the top or at the top year after year. They've got a nice program. Coach Schrader has done a nice job there. He's been there for a while now and is definitely putting his stamp on their team. So I look for Benedictine to be a real solid opponent.
Well, next Saturday, the Warriors will have another night game, although it'll be up in Sheboygan, or if you prefer, Howard's Grove, as they take on Lakeland today. This is the shootout. Lakeland goes to Chicago. The Muskies knock off the Cougars by a final of 66-61. I was watching it before we got going here tonight. There were 56 combined points in the fourth quarter alone, and the Muskies with a basketball-like 66-61 score.
That was not an overtime. That was regular 4 quarters.
60 minutes of football.
Unbelievable. Well, not seeing any part of the game can't be great defense.
See, that's the insight. That's the stuff you bring. That's why we got you, Coach.
Yeah, there you go.
Warriors will be at Lakeland next Saturday night here. And we should mention Concordia, Wisconsin had the bye. There's always one team on a bye when you have a 9-team league. Okay, let's take another timeout. When we come back, had a chance this week to catch up with a sophomore running back for the Warriors, Elijah Edwards, a young man who is obviously on the football program, but is also using his voice to praise the Lord. He's a member of 2 choirs. We talk a little bit about the similarities between a football team and being on a team singing in choir, and might he sing the national anthem here at Robbie Stadium one day? Stick with us. My conversation with Elijah Edwards, a member of the Warriors football program, coming up after this timeout. You're watching Warriors football.
You're watching Warriors football live from Robbie Stadium on WLCSports.com.
Wisconsin Lutheran College. Academic excellence, real-world experience, Christian values. Discover your purpose. WLC.edu/purpose.
Welcome back inside Warriors football. The halftime show rolls on. I am Scott Warris, and our featured athlete spotlighted this week is Elijah Edwards, a sophomore from Merritt Island, Florida. He's a running back. Where is Merritt Island, Florida, for people who don't know?
So Merritt Island's between Kennedy Space Center and Cocoa Beach. So I'm like in the middle, so it's pretty cool. I get to surf while seeing the rockets go up.
That's great. Like, how many people has ever said that sentence in their lives? He gets to surf while rockets are going up. Do you miss the surfing a little bit here when you're in Milwaukee at WLC?
Yeah, for sure. Surfing is just nice and relaxing, so I kind of like miss it there.
Could you go out on Lake Michigan and do that? Is your surfboard here with you, or I suppose you didn't bring it with you?
I actually don't have a surfboard, but like I use my friends and stuff. Okay. But I don't know. Maybe you could surf. I don't know. I never tried it before.
Next summer, maybe.
Yeah.
Next summer.
Sure.
Okay. Elijah, let's talk about something you're doing off the football field, and that's participating in choir. A couple of choirs here at Wisconsin Lutheran College, and one of the great things we like to do here at halftime is kind of pull the curtain back a little bit and tell you about what many of the players are doing when they're not in uniform. Talk about the choirs, I should say, that you're taking part in and singing in here at WLC, and why that's important to you.
Right. So I'm in 2 choirs. The first one is called Cage Gospel Ensemble, and another one is called the WLC Choir. So basically in middle school, I had to take a choir credit. So at first I was like, man, that kind of sucks. But as the days go on, I kind of fell in love with it. And it's just such a beautiful thing, especially at this choir that I go to. It's like we sing about Jesus, so it's another great thing to sing while just praising the Lord.
I was curious, as I was preparing and just thinking about our conversation, you're a running back, and how would you compare football preparation to being in a choir? Because there is teamwork involved in both. How would you dissect that?
For me, I'll say you gotta kind of trust in one another. So in choir, like you have to trust that everybody's hitting the right notes, and then you don't have to be so loud. You have to trust that everybody's doing their thing, and then you also have to hear, and then just as a running back, you gotta trust the line.
Yeah.
You gotta trust that you're gonna go through that gap, and making sure that that gap is gonna be right there when you need it.
Mm-hmm. Do you get nervous when you're singing? I mean, I realize you're with your fellow students and you're praising the Lord with your voices. Do you get nervous when you're up there on stage?
Honestly, yes. For the first first two songs I do, but then third, fourth, it's on and popping. It's really fun.
Which maybe is kind of like football. Maybe there's some butterflies in those first couple moments at kickoff, but you settle into it. How did you kind of alluded to how you got into the choir scene, as it were, and into singing? Is that something maybe that your family has also supported? Talk about the people behind the scenes that have helped you get to this point.
Right. So for choir, my mom, she actually wanted to go sing in FSU, Florida State University and stuff, and she just loved to sing. And then my auntie, she loved to sing as well. So I guess I'm heading towards to their footsteps. And yeah, just choir is just pretty fun. Just singing. I always sing in the shower. I sing, for those people who know me, around classrooms and whatnot, I just sing,
Yeah.
It's fun.
What are some of your other interests here at WLC? What are you studying? Tell us about your academic path.
Well, kind of like you, Scott. I'm majoring in communications.
Oh boy, he's coming for my job.
Nah. And I'm majoring in communications, and I'm also minoring in theology because, I get to learn more about Jesus more. So it's pretty cool about that.
If I could ask you a football question for just a second, as a running back, when you see what the ground game did last week, 396, a single game record, what is the potential for that facet of the offense this year?
I just feel like since we're able to establish the run game, it'll be great because the linebackers will be so heavy on the run game. Then we can do a little quick pass to the receiver. So it's going to open up different types of plays, and it can be really big, great plays to different receivers while us running the run game. So it's awesome. It's just what we needed,
Elijah Edwards is our guest here at halftime. Before I let you go, I don't know, coach came up to you and said, "Hey, Elijah, we need a singer for the national anthem on Saturday before the game." Would you do it? Could you do it?
I could, but will it be pretty? I don't know about that.
Maybe we get the entire choir. That's what we could do. We get the entire choir to come out, stand at the midfield at 50-yard line and sing the national anthem maybe one day.
Yeah, that'll be perfect. Perfect. Yes, sir.
We're going to effort that. Elijah Edwards, sophomore running back, and a key cog on the field and in a couple of choirs here at WLC. Thanks for being in the spotlight, Elijah. We'll continue with more of our halftime show in just a moment. You're watching Warriors football. And we are back at halftime with the Warriors leading Eureka by a score of 17-0. We have talked about a lot of the familiar faces that are here tonight. And at this very moment, in this Robbie Stadium facility, there are 3 men that know what it's like to be Warriors head football coach. They're all here. And right now, Wayne Chevy is standing by with the guy who wore that hat the second time.
Is with me right now. Ben Murphy, you spent about half of your life in Warrior football. What has it meant to you?
Oh, it's been tremendous. I mean, just from getting the opportunity to be a player here, play underneath Dennis, made a ton of friends. I got a big group of them over here to the sideline. We got over 100 former players and their family out here, so it was just tremendous to do that and then get a chance to coach for, I can't even keep track, 8-9 years here, and try to make an impact in the program when I was here. And it's good to see a lot of the guys I got to coach for back then as well, and it was really an honor to kind of memory lane it tonight and see everybody.
What are you doing in life? You came up from Texas for this. I mean, you might be the farthest distance traveled.
Yeah, when I got out of coaching, now I got 2 boys, 11 and 13. I'm vice president of sales for a company called Titus Talent Strategies, and I do a lot of work in the talent and recruitment space. So the recruiting football players, now I help recruit other people for professional business jobs. So it's been a great journey and helped grow a small business into a pretty good sized business. So it's been a lot of fun.
And I'm hoping that maybe can recruit some of our graduates here to work for you. Huh? What do you think of that?
Yeah, absolutely. Some of your best kids should be our future employees. I hope so.
Ben, thanks for your time. I appreciate it. God bless you. And let's go Warriors.
Let's go.
Back to you, Scott.
Thank you very much. Now, I mentioned that he was head coach. He succeeded you, Coach, and then you came for a few years after Ben left. But he was a player for you. He was your longtime defensive coordinator, and his
great one.
His recruiting. I remember you and I talked about that early, and we still do, about what a great recruiter. Now he's doing it in quote-unquote real life, or whatever you want to say. But Ben Murphy, a Warrior player, assistant coach, head coach, he checked all the boxes.
He sure did, and you hate to itemize what's the best thing he does, because he does so many things so well, but he was a tremendous recruiter. He was tenacious, he got after people, he established relationships with them, and which have lasted a lifetime in some cases. So it's great to see him. I have not seen him for many years.
Yeah, this is the largest contingent of football alumni at any one place at any one time.
Yeah, yes, because we've had guys come back for different things along over the years, but not anything like we can see down to our right down here. They're all over the place, and I just know that the stories are flowing, and they're just having a great time, and they're seeing guys that in some cases they haven't seen for, as many as 25 years in some cases.
And we'll see as the second half rolls on if Wayne Chevy can't catch up with a couple of them. By the way, we should mention this here. Hall of Famer Matt Cale popped up in the booth during our halftime show, and during a break of ours, popped in to say hi. All-time rusher, all 3,200 career yards, and it was great to see Matt. It's been a long time since we had a chance to catch up with Matt Cale, and we'll maybe catch up with him down on the field at some point here before we're done.
He's like Superman, who until he changes into his cape and things in the telephone booth, you just don't know how good he is. He's a humble guy, but boy, he could play football.
Well, the second half is underway with Akeem Demon juking his way to the near sideline. I beg your pardon, that's Mondrell Boykins, number 9, and a nice return for Boykins out near the 41-yard line. Brightson Namutenda, the special teams tackle for the Warriors, but Eureka gets a big return by Boykins to set them up in good shape here on their opening drive. If you're curious, in that first half for Eureka, they ran 27 plays, 63 total yards, 42 through the air, 21 on the ground. They were 3 of 8 on third down. They did have a fumble in that first half as well. Warriors unable to capitalize off it, but that is the only turnover so far. And it's Tullett, and he'll turn and he'll give to Makari Moss. Remember, Angel Garcia, the starting running back for the Red Devils, left with what looked like a leg injury in the first half. Savon Goodwin made the tackle for the Warriors. And so it's been a lot of Makari Moss, and we'd imagine the second half would be more of the same.
He looks like, based on a test of one run, but he looks like a fast young man. I mean, he was motoring on that last play, and different running style than Angel had. So I think the defense is going to have to get used to that a little bit.
Moss had 59 total yards through the first 2 weeks. And now Tollett is hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. And in pursuit for the Warriors was Alan Tavares, and he nearly brought him down, forced the throwaway.
He really has had a nice defensive game up to this point in time. We've said his name a number of times, and he's making plays on the edge. And the interesting thing about that is he starts the play in the middle of the defense and ends up on the edge making plays. That's a kid with a good motor.
So it's 3rd down and 4. And again in that first half, the Red Devils were 3 out of 8 on 3rd down. 3rd and 4 from the 46-yard line, their own. Little toss to Vroman, trying to get to the corner. He will be denied as the Warriors show off their lateral speed. None better than Savon Goodwin from the linebacking core. Brandon Ansick finishing him off as well. And it's 4th and long, and on comes the punting unit for the Red Devils.
And that was a great defensive play, but the guy who made that play was Brandon Ansick. He came up from deep right away, read the play as a run, kept his outside arm and shoulder free so he wasn't getting hemmed in, and completely turned everything back inside. That was a great defensive play from a secondary position.
Harrison Woods, 4 first-half punts, averaging 19.8, and this is not going to go 19.8, although he gets a favorable bounce. Connor Martin backs off, and the Red Devils, Karam, will take it out at the 35-yard line. Penalty flag on the play way back near the line of scrimmage. Actually, it's out of bounds here on the Warriors sideline.
Okay. I thought I saw it fly up, and then I couldn't locate it on the field, but there it is right now.
Well, it was 4th and 7. The referee tonight is Benjamin Legaki.
Decline it.
Oh, they'll enforce it.
Oh, really? Huh.
So it'll be 4th and 12. They'll walk off the yardage, and they'll have Harrison Woods punt again.
Well, you know, his first punt of the game was, and we commented about it, was really a nice punt. About 35, 36 yards, had height, and his punts ever since then have been, frankly, pretty suspect. So maybe they're assuming that he's going to be true to form and shank it a little bit here.
Connor Martin is back, looking up into a light drizzle starting to fall here at Robbie Stadium. Hits at the 44 of the Warriors, checks up right there, and Wisconsin Lutheran will have excellent starting field position. With 13:22 to go in this third quarter, the Warriors, all 17 of their points coming there in the second frame. Emmett Hawkins, a 37-yard touchdown pass, reception, I should say. The pass, obviously, from Barbian. Hygis, a 21-yard scamper. Ortega, a 22-yard field goal at the gun to send us into halftime. And so the Warriors now with their opening possession of the second half. 1st and 10 from the 44. 225 first-half yards for Wisconsin Lutheran. Penalty flag as the ball is snapped. The handoff to Hygis, and he got a short gain, maybe a half a yard.
You know, it's been a very clean game up to this point in time. There's been a few flags, but not much.
It'll go against the Warriors. Well, that is now 4 penalties against each team in the game.
I guess I didn't see that penalty.
1st down and 15 for Wisconsin Lutheran. 13-14, clock put back into motion here in the third. 3 wide receivers to the left. Fake the handoff, and the pass is at the feet of the intended target. Emmett Hawkins. Darian Rogers was in the grill of Barbian.
Yeah, Emmett Rogers really affected that play. Forced Bryce to throw far before he was ready to throw it and just threw it into the dirt.
Bryce Barbian, his first touchdown pass of the season on that 37-yarder to Hawkins back in the second quarter. Awaits the shotgun snap. Looks to his left. Now scrambles off his back foot, and he'll throw it into the bench. And a heck of a fingernail grab there by Gabe Cole, the defensive lineman. He was actually sitting on the bench when he caught that one, and looks like Gabe's going to keep the football.
He's going to keep the ball, yep. I tell you, the offensive line is doing a really nice job at keeping Bryce clean. I mean, he had plenty of time on that one. There was just nobody opening up downfield, but boy, they did a nice job on that.
First half, the Warriors were 5 out of 9 on third downs. This is 3rd and 15. And in motion is Hawkins. And again, Barbian has time. Still with it now, although time is running out. Bryce scampering. Barbian splits a pair of Red Devils and wiggles his way out to the 45 for a gain of 6. Thought there might be something developing. Willie Cox and Tyler Lundy were the 2 Red Devils that sandwiched the Warriors quarterback.
You know, Bryce does such a nice job at just moving around in the pocket. He does a nice job at stepping up into the pocket. And what he does better than many quarterbacks is he's not then so ready to throw, where he just got to get rid of it. He just bides his time and creates some time.
Drew Mears had a single punt in the first half. It went for 29. Tight spiral. Parham's going to let this hit at the 10, and it'll carry him into and through the end zone. And 12 minutes to go in the third. And Eureka will be out there once again. A couple of punts here for Drew Mears. Looks pretty good coming off his foot.
It
so
really
far.
does. That was like 56 yards. We don't get credit for all of it because it goes in the end zone, but that was a nice punt.
So this drive will begin. And again, a drizzle falling. We started this game with a delay. Yeah, the umbrellas popping up.
It's always nice to have a lead when weather changes.
1st and 10. And Braden Tollett to throw far side, and he undershot his intended target, Kimani Davis. Coverage on the play was Xavion Allen. Might have been a slip situation there for Davis as he looked to plant and come back.
Well, and even on the throw, it looked like he was palming the ball on that. Like, I don't know if I wouldn't think the balls are wet. It's not raining. It's not doing much out here, and they're doing a good job usually at keeping the balls dry, but it looked like he kind of palmed that thing out there.
2nd down and 10. Braden Tollett in the first half, 8 out of 14 for 42 yards. He was sacked a single time. Makari Moss, the running back, and he'll get the carry on a little RPO action, spinning his way and stretching his way out across the 25 for a gain of 5 yards, and it'll bring up 3rd and 5, and Layson Handwork gets credited, I should say, with a tackle. That'll be his 3rd of the night.
You know, they're not getting any yards they don't deserve to get. They're not giving up, you know, they're not missing tackles. They're not getting run over. And part of that reason is they're just all pursuing the ball so well. They're gang tackling so well.
The longest play for Eureka tonight was a 13-yard completion on 3rd and 13.
Yep.
3rd and 5. Blitz is on. Tollett throws. He connects with Nathaniel Vroman, but he's hit for a loss. Coverage on the play coming by Brandon Ansick. And again, the defense swarming. I said that Wayne Chevy might catch up with some Hall of Famers. There is the Warriors' all-time leading rusher. He's with Matt Kale.
I'm down here with Matt Kale, all-time leading rusher. What was your experience like with WLC football?
I love WLC football. I think the biggest thing I remember from it is the people you meet. Some of the guys I came down with today. You got Coach Miller up there, Scott Warris, Adam Heinzen. This is the stuff you love.
Well, you know, you're obviously a part of the legacy now, right? 25th anniversary. You were on one of the very kind of the early seasons. What's it mean to see this kind of stadium and all this stuff going on?
Yeah, you can't ask for a better field. You've got, you know, even in the rain, we got rain tonight. You got a consistent footing with it. So coming from Rainbow Park where we used to practice, where you got gravel, good luck with that. Going to something like this, it's unbelievable what we've been blessed with.
So a fun story. Liam Hygis collected 175 yards last week. You happen to know him, kind of, sorta.
Yeah, so funny story. I scrolling through YouTube, and I see this Liam guy who has been serving me my Carmel Creeks, frogging a log. We got a little ice cream connection. Works for Frogs in the small town of Sherwood. With my daughter, actually. So I went up to him, actually ordered it, and he's like, and I'm like, all right, I'll take 150 yards tonight. I don't need a Carmel Creek tonight. Give me 150 yards.
And we'll attempt to take that victory tonight. Now, it is raining out here, and we're kind of sweet, so I don't know how long I'll be down here, Scott.
10 Warriors.
So let's give it up for the Hall of Famer, and back to you.
Oh, that's good stuff. Yeah, that backstory, we'll get into that here before this night is over. And speaking of Hygis, he stood up for no gain out near the 16-yard line, and it'll bring up a second down here for the Warriors. Stop on the play coming by Brent Potts. Yeah, Liam Hygis works at an ice cream shop with the daughter of Matt Kale. And basically, Liam Hygis knows him as Mr. Kale, not as the all-time leading rusher at Wisconsin Lutheran College, where Liam is now obviously a Warrior running back. They have since recognized the situation there between the two of them.
That is such a typical Matt Kale story. He's a very unassuming guy. He doesn't look for the limelight. I would also mention he was, when he finished with us, was the leading rusher in the MIAA, which is the oldest continuous NCAA conference in America. And I remember the day that he got the award for the leading rusher. They stopped the game to give him the game ball, and that was a special moment here at Robbie Stadium.
All right, it's second down and short, and here is the pitch to the near side, and Hygis spins his way out across the 30, near the 31-yard line. Potts on the stop, and the young man who serves ice cream in the summers is running for first downs now in the fall. And from the eyes of one of the greats, Matt Kale, now the freshman able to get that first down for the Warriors. That's just a really great story.
And that's the first time we've seen that play out of the Warriors tonight, that little quick toss.
Fake the handoff, toss near side. Oh, goodness, it was intended on the play for Emmett Hawkins. Daniel Parhams tried to jump the route.
Yeah, Parhams had a good look at that. I mean, that was one of those, if he throws, it gets you a little nervous when he's able to get that kind of a jump on it.
Well, another penalty flag has been thrown here. This is kind of like last week where the first half was pretty clean in terms of penalties. And
Substitution on the defense, 12 players on the field. It's a 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
12 men on the field against Eureka. Well, we knew because of the personnel substitution packages and personnel that they're going to be moving a lot of guys in and out. And when you do that, you leave yourself susceptible and open to penalties if the communication isn't good.
Yep, and they had 12 on the field right there. So
almost had 12 on the field right there as well.
Yep.
Brandon Innicus went sprinting off. 1st and 5. Tossed near side. Hawkins made a man miss, and then he spun out of bounds. First down catch for Emmett Hawkins to the 45 on a gain of 9. Hanson Johnson took him out.
Very nice catch, too. Full extension on that and caught it. And, again, I don't know how much it's raining or how much moisture down there, but that was a really clean play.
They get up to the line quickly. And, again, enough time to look back and get the play call from the near sidelines. 8:35 and the clock runs. Warriors lead at 17-0. Blitz is on, and in the backfield, the Warriors' Liam Hygis is hit by Darian Rogers coming from the right side of the line, and he was taken down no sooner than he caught the football from his quarterback, Bryce Barbian.
Yeah, that was perfectly timed blitz off the edge, and obviously they're getting used to what the cadence is and that sort of thing, but had there been any hesitation at all, he's offside on that one.
So it's a loss of a yard. Back to the 44-yard line. 2nd down and 11. Turn, fake the handoff, toss, first down and more Oh, what a beautiful fake handoff, and then he's able to hit his target. Jameel Gordon, Ezekiel on the stop. I beg your pardon, that was Drew Mears, 16, that made the catch. 16, Drew Mears, and a first down to the 44 of the Red Devils. Make it the 39.
And they're moving quick now. They're moving quick.
Penalty flag thrown again, tossed to the left flat for a short hookup, and we'll see the penalty flag now.
I watch them in practice, and when they choose to go fast, because their normal rhythm right now is not fast. They just get up there, they make the defense stay in position, but they're not fast. When they choose to go fast, they are like supersonic. So they might get that going later tonight.
Officials still discussing it on the far side near the numbers.
Yeah.
Illegal substitution on the defense. The 12th player did not get off the field.
Another 12-man on the field penalty.
Aaron Rodgers, yes.
Well, that explains that quick snap, in that instance at least.
Now they're back in their quads formation out there. And so far they've thrown a step back screen on that, and then they threw a little out to the inside receiver on the front of that thing. So we'll see what they do on it this time.
4 to the right, and a handoff straight ahead. Hygis tackled by Rodgers.
You know, you got to commit so many people out there when they put 4 out there.
They're going to do it again. So you've got Mears clustered to the top. You've got Gordon, you've got Hawkins, and you also have the tight end Matt Korb, who's at a wideout spot. Behind the line of scrimmage, catch made there by Jameel Gordon. Makes a man miss using that speed to motor down the right sidelines before Akeem Demin knocks him out. At the 20, it's a gain of a dozen.
And the way they're playing that is they're putting 2 defenders over the top of the quad, and then the next 2 closest defenders are really continuing to be inside safety, so they don't have a lot of people over there.
Hygis straight ahead into the pile to the 17.
What a great drive. They're using some time up. They're being very multiple with the run, the pass, with the tempo.
To the 17. Fake the handoff.
Oh, we got a flag.
Drew Mears, there's a flag.
Yeah, that was kind of obvious. I think, is it Jamil that maybe pulled him down? Yeah.
Holding, offense number 18, 10 yards from the previous spot, replay second down.
You know, it's almost like a reflex action. It's, you know, he wanted to get the block, and the defender had kind of an inside position on him, and he just kind of grabbed him, and unfortunately the referee is right in front of him, so he saw the whole thing.
So they'll call it 2nd and 17 now from the 27. Warriors need the 10 to get a fresh set of downs. Mears in motion. Hygis on the carry. And Liam Hygis spun his way out of the, again, pile, and is close to a first down. He'll make it 3rd and short. Akeem Demin, and Hygis showing that strength and popping out the backside. We saw that last week.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. He's showing that strength. Because those are not wide open holes. He's seeing the hole. They're doing a good job at opening the holes, but then a lot of that comes up to be his effort towards the end.
3rd and 3. Barbie in to throw, has a wide open Jameel Gordon at the 5, making Red Devils miss. Angling his way, lost the football. Is he in? They're calling it a touchback. There's a penalty flag that was thrown on the far side of the field. They have ruled a fumble and a recovery by the Red Devils in the end zone for a touchback. Meanwhile, there was a penalty on the far side.
Ineligible player downfield on the offense, number 73. That penalty's declined. The result of the play is a touchback. First down, Eureka.
Oh, my goodness. Inches from a touchdown, and instead it's the Warriors' first turnover. And from the Red Devils' perspective, it doesn't get much bigger than that when you consider what they were staring at, a 24-0 deficit. Instead, Gordon coughs it up, recovered in the end zone by the defense, so Eureka will come out and start a drive at the 20. My goodness.
Well, and he did. Jamil did such a nice job at getting out of the mess and getting to the end zone, but he was really twirling around and so on, and the ball got a little away from his body and it fell out. But the biggest thing now is the offense just has to get back and say, we're moving it. Let's just get back to work and get it in the end zone.
Kubaki scrambles out of the field. Here's a handoff to Makari Moss into the pile for next to nothing. Lost a half a yard, in fact.
Yeah, it's a big gang tackle. You had the linebackers, Savon in there, and really a gang tackle. Good job.
32 yards rushing in this game for Eureka.
Yeah, we're completely shutting the run game down.
2nd down and 10 from the 20. Red Devils trying to capitalize on the Warriors giveaway. And here's the handoff to Crowder this time. Running to the right side. Maybe a yard.
And such sure tackling, because again, if he breaks through that first line of defense, because that was an outside run play, safeties have come up to kind of keep things from the outside. He could go a ways, but we're tackling very sure.
Ansick specifically on that play with 4 to go in the 3rd quarter. Warriors still lead 17-0. If you join us late, that was the halftime score. All 17 points coming in the 2nd quarter for Wisconsin Lutheran. 3rd down and 9. And in this game, Eureka, who started well on 3rd downs, now 3 out of 10, and Tollett to throw to the near side, and it's incomplete. Vroman was in the vicinity. Brazil was in the vicinity, and Tollett couldn't find either one of them. Xavier Allen defensively in the area.
Yeah, we're defending the pass great right now. I mean, we're all over the top and underneath, and he's got to thread the needle, and he doesn't have any time to do it. Things look very good for what we're doing defensively right now. We can get the ball on about the 50-yard line or closer, because he's had a little bit of a problem punting tonight. So we got a chance to score before the end of the 3rd quarter.
Martin is back, and again, off the side of the foot of the punter Woods. Warriors will start in plus territory at the 44 of the Eureka Red Devils. They have had some really nice starting field position here tonight on a number of occasions.
Yeah, all night long on I think nearly every possession they have.
This will be the 3rd possession for Wisconsin Lutheran that begins in Eureka territory. This will be at the 43. They started at the 42 way back when. 3 wide receivers to the left. Plenty of targets. Hidalgo has checked in. Delayed handoff, big
nice
hole.
Draw, yeah.
Liam Hygis inside the 35. He's got a gain of 10. Darian Rogers with a shoelace tackle of the Warriors ball carrier. 1st down.
And Bryce was a great actor there, because he was looking outside. He looked like he was looking downfield to see where he can throw, and then a nice little delayed draw.
He hides it well. 1st and 10 from the 38. He'll toss this time to the near side. To the catch there, Hidalgo. And a nice run after catch for the junior from Lincoln Heights, California. Hanson Johnson, the D-back for the Red Devils, brings him down. It was a pickup of 9 for Hidalgo and company.
And what you're seeing, at least what I'm seeing from up here body language-wise, is there's getting a lot of frustration on the Eureka defense right now, which usually means they're going to give up a big play. And again, we got single receiver, nobody over the top on Hawkins down below here.
Parham on him, delayed draw play. Running left, this is Kohler with a spin through the Parham tackle attempt. He's inside the 15, down to the 14-yard line. That freshman just picked up 10 yards.
Fresh as a daisy, too. He hasn't been in the game for a while, and he comes in and Just a great run, defending Conference Player of the Week.
There is an injured Red Devil down near the 10-yard line near side. That is the first carry for Carson Kohler here in this second half. First half, 5 carries for 4 yards. You said something interesting, Coach, in that first half, how Liam Hygis, just the way that Eureka defends was a little better option, certainly with his strength maybe and his muscle.
Yeah, I mean, every game is a little bit different. Every defense plays you a little bit differently, and the way they're crowding the line of scrimmage, there's going to be some good collisions, and that's a big Eureka defense. And Hygis is just built better for that pounding kind of a game. There's no doubt Kohler's going to have his moments and do great just as he did last week, but Hygis is just built for this kind of defensive scheme.
The injured Red Devil, good to see him get up. Willie Cox, the linebacker, now jogging off under his own power. Great student section, good turnout here on it was a little drizzly earlier. Looks like the rain we saw earlier in this third quarter has subsided. It's a cooler night. Still beautiful weather, though, here in mid-September, late-ish September.
It surely is, and there's nobody leaving. I mean, everybody's staying to the end of this one.
Okay. First and 10 for the Warriors from the 14, so they still can pick up a first down. Single coverage on the bottom of your screen with Hawkins lined up again with Parhams. And Barbian looks right, throwing, catch, Amack, touchdown, Warriors, Colin Amack, the junior from Menominee Falls, 23-0 Wisconsin Lutheran.
Really a nice job on that. With the trips over on that side, that particular time they kept the one safety a little further over to this side, so they probably didn't have as much help as they wanted, and he was the inside receiver on that. The outside two took the defenders deep, and he just kind of settled down in the middle there.
They are so high on Colin Amack, a wide receiver / tight end. He's versatile that way. 2:01 left here in the third. Warriors score off that great starting field position, and Ortega, the point after. So with 2:01 remaining in the third, the Warriors pitching the shutout, adding a touchdown, lead it 24-0.
What a great third quarter. I mean, there's only 7 points on the board, but they had an unfortunate turnover right in the goal line. But they've controlled offensively this quarter, start to finish, and defensively, it's the best quarter of the night for sure. We've stopped everything, gang tackling. Everything looks great, and we just got to keep this momentum going, and pay attention to the little things right now, because we're in control of this whole thing.
And the defense, again, just 13 points now in a game and almost 3 quarters at home.
Yeah, that's a challenge offensively to keep a positive attitude about what's going on out there. Because right now they're looking at this score saying, we can't come back from this. I mean, that's mentally what they're thinking.
Amaya Overchuk, end-over-end kick, taken at the 15 by Mondrell Boykins, bouncing it to the far side, out across the 30, and he'll be shoved out, way out near the 38. Nope, check it, they're gonna walk it back to the 35. So about a 20-yard return. Will Craig, the sophomore special teamer, and Noah Ross, a couple of underclassmen for the Warriors, stopping him.
We tend to, our edge players on the kick cover tend to kind of fold in, from my vantage point, a little faster than I'd like them to, and it's allowing them to get to the outside. So it was nice recovery that we were able to hold them to only the 34-yard line, 33-yard line.
Well, down 24 with $1:53 left in the third. It is go time now for Eureka. You would imagine they empty the backfield.
Picked.
To let to throw. You bet, Coach. It's intercepted by the Warriors. Connor Martin inside the 40 on the return down to the 38-yard line. A little pushing and shoving there at the end. No flags thrown. The second takeaway by the Warriors defense.
That was a great play. He just overthrew it. Not terrible, but he overthrew it. But Martin was there all over the place and just made a great catch, great return. We're sitting on the 37-yard line with an opportunity to go up 31, still in the third quarter.
And now he'll get the congratulations from his team as he gets back on the sidelines. All right, Warriors, from the 37-yard line, trying to put this thing away here, already up 24-0.
And again, what you look for is how does Eureka respond? They've got to respond.
Gordon, Mears, Hidalgo to the right. Holt Chavez to the left. And the handoff to Kohler. He's going to be ankle tackled for a loss. Back to the 39-yard line. 41, I'm sorry. 41-yard line, loss of 4. Tyler Lundy, the freshman from Georgia.
They've had a nice time the two previous plays, two previous times they ran that delay draw, but Eureka was all over that one. There wasn't much running space at all available, and lose a few yards on it.
Second down and 14, back at the 41. They'll give it to Kohler again. And he darts forward, got back the yardage he lost a moment ago, and then one. Give him 5 on the play. Daniel Parham's coming up from his secondary position to make the stop.
Nice little scheme they've got offensively. They got going. They're bringing the wing back all the way to the backside to kind of control that edge, which allows that offensive line to really tee off and get going front side of that play.
Under a minute to go here in the third quarter with WLC leading at 24-0. Delayed handoff, and then the toss to the far side. Chavez the catch. He's punished as soon as he made it at the 31 for a pickup of 5. The junior from Garland, Texas, Holt Chavez.
We were pretty fortunate to get that thing off. Brent Potts was in quickly on that play, and Bryce has a quick delivery. He doesn't have a lot of excess motion that he's dealing with. He's got a quick delivery and able to get it out. You see it every time they're running those little step back screens or slip screens on the outside. He's just doing a very good job.
So at the end of the third quarter, it's 24-0 Warriors. They have the 3-score lead. Coach, it was an impressive third quarter. Warriors, again, pitching another shutout in a 15-minute segment. And oh, by the way, they added a touchdown as well. They continue to play well on both sides.
Yeah, it's isn't it fun to watch? I mean, we're dominating the football game in every aspect of it. Every aspect. And play after play. It's not like we have a big play and that's a splash play and that's where we get our scores. It's play after play. And you can see the fans are
enjoying it as much as we are.
Yeah, absolutely.
So are the broadcasters.
We are. Oh, yeah. Let's get up there. All right.
Now they got the drum crew out here, adding to the game day environment.
Yep.
Homecoming 2024 is so far so very good through 3 quarters.
Really, really good atmosphere here tonight.
And the Warriors have 359 total yards through 3 quarters. Effective, efficient. This is a 4th and 5, and Barbie into throw, and he's got a man inside the 10 and pushed out of bounds. The catch for Mears. Hanson Johnson pushed him out. Oh my goodness, on the first play of the 4th quarter, the Warriors go for it, and they get a big one onto the 7-yard line, we'll call it. That's 25 yards on a 4th down hookup, and the Warriors in business trying to put this thing away. Hygis to the left of Bryce Barbian, double wides to the left, and the snap and the handoff to Hygis. Hit at the line, trying to use those legs and power his way forward, and he'll lose maybe a yard or so. How about that 4th down connection?
Well, and what was cool, Bryce was back. He pumped, but the receiver hadn't cleared the defender yet, so he pumps with pressure and still delivers just a dime to the receiver. That was an excellent play. Might have been the best throw of the night because he was under pressure on that play.
Second down and goal now back at the 6-yard line for the Warriors. Opening moments of the fourth quarter. Scored 44 last week.
A lot of space up top.
Take the handoff.
Right there.
And there on the slant, incomplete. Demon on the coverage. Looks like there's an injured Eureka Red Devil out the backside of the end zone. Looks like it's Akeem Demon, who is a couple of yards behind the back of the end zone. 24-0 Wisconsin Lutheran, and they'll tend to him.
At first, I thought it looked like a cramp or something the way he was reacting, but it's hard to tell. Yeah, he's getting up right away, so maybe it was that.
So many dignitaries in attendance. Wayne Chevy has another one.
The field with the proud president, President Johnson, as the Warriors hold the lead here. What does Warrior football mean to WLC?
Well, it means a whole lot. First of all, we had our 25th anniversary celebration today, and what gives me such great joy is not only do we have a great football program, but more importantly, what our Warrior men have become. They're amazing Christian fathers and brothers, and they represent the school and their families so well. And yeah, football just happens to be a means to an end as part of that. But yeah, it's been a great day.
We're going to come back to you. We're going to watch this touchdown.
All right, let's do it.
Here is the direct
Wildcat.
snap to Hygis, straight ahead. Yes, the Wildcat formation. He'll take it inside the 1 on a pickup of about 5.5. And it was Darian Rogers that perhaps saved a touchdown.
Rogers on the stop.
This is an easy decision. You go for it.
We're going to let him go.
As a guy
We got
with
fourth down. Go with this. They're going to call time.
Fourth down and short because they knew we were talking with the president.
Not
of
only are you the
WLC.
president, you had a son who played Warrior football.
I did.
What kind of experience was that for you as a dad and for your son, Connor?
It was amazing. When I moved here, Connor was in the 5th grade, so he's a ball boy for much to grade school into high school, played high school football, and then came here. And I will tell you, nothing gave me greater joy than my son to be here playing for these coaches, Coach Miller. And, you know, our football program is all about raising Christian men to be men. And, yeah, I'm just grateful to Dad. I've been a part of that, too.
Well, we're running this clock down. We're going to score again, and then we're going to shoot off some fireworks. Are you ready for a happy homecoming?
We are. It's been a great day, and not just for the football program, our soccer program, volleyball. It's been a great day today. Yeah, so go Warriors with the fireworks.
Go Warriors. Thank you, President Johnson.
Thank you.
Yeah, they've got a post-game fireworks show on tap here tonight. Cap off homecoming. Warriors offensively trying to show some fireworks here as well. Now you have a situation, Coach, where you have Hygis and Voller in the backfield.
Yep. We got the Wildcat going on here.
The quarterback Barbian is not on the field right now.
Should be a physical run play, I'm guessing.
Tight formation. Hygis on a little pitch to Gordon, looking for the edge. He found it, and he finds 6 as well.
Great play. Great deception on that. Great play. And as a local broadcaster would say, that's your dagger, probably.
No. Can we say that?
Well,
Will he let us say that?
Is that copyrighted? I don't know.
I didn't hear anything.
That's your knife then, or whatever it is you want to say.
Didn't hear a thing.
Okay.
30-0 Warriors have the lead in Ortega with 13-14 to go in the fourth. Trying to add another one. Boy, how fun is it for Eric Tresky to go into that offensive playbook and open that thing up and know you have pages of options with the weapons he has and a veteran quarterback now, the speed. I mean, a play caller yourself, you're licking your chops.
Oh, you are, and that was a speed play. I mean, that was a young man that is going to outrun a lot of people and a lot of deception because, first of all, it's deceiving with the Wildcat. And then Hygis, which, you know, I know we've mentioned before, he was a quarterback in high school. So not only that, but he has the ability to throw the ball if he wants to. So there were a lot of things available to him on that play.
As I said, they hung 44 on the Buena Vista Beavers last Saturday. They've got 31 on the Eureka Red Devils with 13-14 to go here tonight.
And I didn't see the final score, but I saw an early score in the game, and Buena Vista was ahead of Loris at some point. I don't know if they hung on to win or not, but. Oh boy.
This to the far side, and it'll go out of bounds.
Touch, though, so that works to our advantage. We'll start playing defense on about the 18-yard line, it looks like.
Yeah, if it's not touched, then you got the penalty.
And then we got the penalty. Yep.
It's touched, it's where it goes out after that, or necessarily where it is touched.
Right, yep.
Warriors leading this thing, and, you know, opportunities here for the defense who have seen the offense do their thing, and obviously the defense pitching a shutout to this point is doing their thing. It is a situation where those defensive players, they can't wait to get back out there
No
and
doubt.
pin their ears back now.
No doubt. And truthfully, they want a 0 to stay on the scoreboard. There's no doubt about that. So they're going to play very hard with that in mind.
They'll hand it off here to Moss running left. Let's go back down to Wayne Chevy. He is with longtime athletics director Skip Noon.
Well, as the score starts spiraling 31-0 with the Warriors in the lead, I'm down here with Skip Noon. He's been the athletic director here for several years and was here at the start of football. What does football mean to WLC?
Well, you can just see. Look at the energy, the excitement, alumni coming back. What a great crowd, with great energy. And this is what being part of college is all about, college athletics. So having football and homecoming is great.
Now, Coach Miller was coaching elsewhere, and you had nothing to offer him. What did you say to him to coax him to come down here and coach with you?
I just said that it's a great place, it's a great school, and I think he fell in love with the whole concept of WLC and what we were about. So we're really happy that he started this thing out and got us going in the right way.
And it's a great 25 years. Congratulations to all you do. Thanks for you and Warrior Athletics. Let's go Warriors.
Let's go Warriors. Bring this one home.
Braden Tollett able to connect there out to the 40-yard line. So they move the sticks. Low snap to the quarterback. He'll toss near side, and it's nearly intercepted by Jordan Miller.
Oh, what a nice reaction to the ball. I mean, he saw it and came up quickly. You know, you kind of focus on the fact he didn't catch it, but what a nice reaction to the ball on that.
And the Warriors have forced 2 turnovers from Eureka in this game. Warriors themselves have given it away once. 2nd down and 10 from the 40.
A lot of different players in on defense right now, which is good. It's given the first teamers a nice break.
Low snap again to Tollett. Toss right side. Boykins the catch, circling, trying to get to the 45, but he's overwhelmed. Chris Korb and company put him down at the 45, a pickup of 5, and it'll be 3rd and 5.
And because of the score, you know, I don't know if it's necessarily 4-down territory here, but if they hope to do anything, they're going to have to push the envelope a little bit. Eureka is just to give themselves a chance.
Brazil wide to the left, and Boykins to the right. Moss to the left of the quarterback, Tollett, going down the right sideline, and there was nobody there. Butler cut his route towards the center of the field, along the seams, as it were, and that toss went to the far sidelines. Kelly was there in coverage, and others as well.
Yeah, I don't know if that was more of a throwaway than anything, where the pressure was getting to them and they just got rid of it instead of a loss of yardage on a sack or something.
Well, it's 4th down and 5, and they're at their own 45. They need points. They need good things to happen, but this is too much of a gamble for first-year head coach Randy Starks. So Harrison Woods is on. And the kick is away. And it'll bound inside the 25, and Eureka will pick it up and deaden it at the 22 with 11:03 to go in the final frame.
You know, that punt worked out well for them. It was a low kick. We really couldn't field it and get upfield with it, so that ended up being one of their best punts of the night. But again, now playing with a lot of confidence, and offensively we're excited about getting back on the field. It'll be interesting to see, you know, what Eric chooses to do now, if he keeps the same game plan going in, or if what he does.
Those defensive players right there have been excellent here tonight.
Yeah, they're feeling really good. Well, defensively, you can't do better than look at the scoreboard and see a 0, so they're feeling pretty good about that.
Kohler on the carry, strung out to the left side, and makes a nice little move to get something out of what looked like nothing.
Really a nice run. You know, that never shows up in the stats. You see a 4-yard gain and you go, well, big deal. That could have easily been a 2-yard loss. I mean, he did a nice job on that.
Warriors will be under the lights next Saturday as well. That one will be on the road at Lakeland. Muskies today hung 66 on Concordia Chicago to move to 1-0 in the league. And Carson Kohler bouncing his way to the right side, now spinning his way. A Red Devil helmet comes flying out of the pile, but a big gainer for Carson Kohler to the 42. It's a pickup of 16. Hanson Johnson on the stop.
And that's Carson's game right there. If he can get through that first level, then you can see the shiftiness that he has, because he had a whole bunch of moves there before he got tackled.
Hanson Johnson lost the helmet, has to go out for this play, and he'll secure it along the far sidelines, but he'll watch. That carry, a 1st and 10 for the Warriors, grinding this thing with 10 minutes or so to go. Quick pitch to the near side. Catch Hidalgo in space. Nate Hidalgo with some nice moves for yards after catch. He'll take it to the 42 of Eureka. That is a pickup of 16 yards, and the tackle on the play credited to Insha Miramana Ezekiel.
It's fun to watch that, because they're getting the blocks, giving them a chance to find an opening, and then all of these receivers have really, really good moves. They run very well with the ball.
Fake the draw. Barbian steps left, throws on the run, and just led his target a little too far. He had Hidalgo again along the far side numbers. Darian Rogers on the pressure of Barbian.
And he's doing a nice job. They're kind of setting up that play with the backside slot, the backside wing blocking. Now they're going to run him out on a boot, kind of a boot naked action.
Barbian tapped his chest, looking at Hidalgo as if to say, that was on me for leading you. Here's a bad snap, and Barbian has to go down to a knee to pick it up. And that knee hit the turf back at the 47-yard line. So that is a rough loss of 5.
That's on this series. That's the second snap that was pretty challenging to handle. So again, I don't. Is this a new? I can't tell if that's a new center or what is in there.
3rd down and 15 after that negative play for the Warriors. They haven't had a lot of negative plays. And Barbian on 3rd and long. He is chased. He steps up. He throws down the far sideline. He has a man in stride. That is a touchdown for the Warriors. Hawkins sprinting free, and Bryce Barbian found him in stride. That was well done.
Well, what a nice job on Barbian's part, because he's rolling to his left. I mean, that's where you got to get your shoulders around and pinpoint the throw, and he did it. First of all, evaded the rush, did a great job getting outside, and then just lofted it. It was an easy ball to catch for Hawkins. That was a great play. Bryce did a great job on that, and of course Hawkins with the finish.
6 receptions for Emmett tonight, 136 yards, his 2nd score of the game. And with Ortega's kick, it's a 38-0 Warriors lead. 8:36 to go here in this 4th quarter. And the young man who had a rough home opener last Saturday is all smiles, high fives, and handshakes for the sophomore from Cudahy, Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's a happy sideline. It's fun to look down there, and now you look back on the field, and kids are dancing and they're enjoying themselves. And the biggest thing right now is that they keep their focus. You know, we'll probably have We'll probably have a lot of kids that haven't been playing a lot tonight. They're going to be back in there now for the last 8.5 minutes. And you want to end this game the way you've played it. Just be dominant. Just do your job. Don't get beyond what's the next play, and finish this the right way.
Williams is back. So is Boykins for the Eureka Red Devils. Gave up 27 in a loss against Greenville last Saturday. Have given up 38 here tonight. And it's in and out of the hands of Nazari Williams. He picks it up and then he runs into the waiting arms of the Warriors special teams tackler. Oh my goodness, you talk about being enveloped. Dennis Schmidt Jr., the freshman linebacker on special teams, absolutely consumed Nazari Williams.
Yeah, he did. That was great. And, last week we were talking about the fact when you drop the ball back there, sometimes there's a letdown momentarily on the kick cover team, and it turns into a big play. But that was not to be tonight. They did a nice job on the coverage.
Eureka will start at the 10, their own 10-yard line. We're starting field position for the Red Devils. Going down the near sideline, looking for a deep one. Catch is made. Kimani Davis. He's all the way out across the 40, near the 43-yard line. A 33-yard completion. Jordan Miller on the stop.
That was a nice throw and catch right there. They did a good job.
Let's go down to the field. Rev Sheb has another guest.
I'm down here with one of the original Warriors, Aaron Biebert, who started this program 25 years ago. What was that first season like?
Not like this. It was special in its own way, no doubt. I mean, we were playing down at Marquette's Valley Fields and practicing at like city parks. But this is like a very real, big-time feeling, and yeah, this is special. Very different, though. Yeah.
And so what did WLC football mean to you? You know, now looking back 25 years, you're a grown man, you're out there in the world. What did it mean?
Well, it meant a lot of things. Certainly being, 17, 18 years old, coming over to a new city. At first it meant Coach Miller. I mean, he was the guy that recruited me and really helped me see how to do things at a high level and keep Jesus in your life and actually be different. He did that. Gave up his old big dog job to come do this and that. And then, Milwaukee itself coming here, that was crazy. And then getting out there and just, it was a lot of fun. It was crazy, though, for sure.
Give me one great Coach Miller nugget.
Oh, gosh. Well, okay. So many, but I know one famous one is when he fell asleep after having some of the heart attack things with his eyes open. Everyone thought he died on the bus. That was a wild one, but I mean, he said so many big things. I can't even remember all of them, but they're right here still to this day.
Well, and Coach Miller's at the heart of this program. We're thankful for him. He's done a great job, and we're so thankful. And keep coming around. Go Warriors.
Oh, yeah, go Warriors. Let's go.
Oh, my goodness. Aaron Biebert. What I remember most, just being around the program, doing early broadcasts, Aaron Biebert was one of the most mature people, let alone players, I have ever met.
Always. He came in at 18 and acted like he was 30. Yeah, he was a very mature kid.
Eureka has moved the football into Warriors territory as we approach 6 to go in this final quarter.
I know he's not listening right now because he's, just down on the sidelines. But I don't think he's a guy that should be telling any stories because I got plenty on him too. Yeah. Some you can't even probably shouldn't broadcast. So we'll just keep it right there.
And a reminder: stay tuned for our after show when Coach Coach tells all. First and 10 here for the Red Devils at the 47 of the Warriors. Talit throws down the right seam, and a diving catch is made by Nathaniel Vroman, going down to a knee to make the catch to the 29. That is a pickup of 18, and they continue to move the chains. This has been one of their better drives. Remember, this thing started at the 10.
Yeah, it has. And what I'm seeing at the end of every play is a little extra shenanigans going on at this point in time, and that's what you don't want to have happen now. You just got to play the game. Don't get baited into doing anything, and just play the game and keep them out of the end zone. everybody's worked too hard for this shutout to let it get into the end zone here.
Tollett, 15 out of 27 for 117. Looking far sidelines. There's contact there, but there is no flag as he was looking the way of the freshman Kamoni Davis. Jordan Miller there in coverage, and that one was underthrown.
Yeah, that was a nice no call. You always kind of worry if you get tangled up with the receiver, if they're going to just throw it because it looks like something, but there's certainly no pass interference on that one.
Second down and 10 here for Eureka. Under the lights. Fireworks to come after this one. The team has provided their own fireworks so far. Tollett, far side, near the first down marker. That catch is made by Johnny Brazil. We'll see how close to the marker they put it. Jordan Miller again on the coverage along that far sidelines. He'll be short, stepped out about 2 yards short. So 3rd and 2 here from the 21-yard line for Eureka.
2 yards to get it, or 2 downs to get it, rather. It'd be nice to come up with a defensive play that put him behind the chains a little bit.
Shotgun for Tollett. To his right stands Moss. And he'll throw. And the catch, Boykins, first down, angling it to the 10, to the 5, and he is in from 21 yards out. Able to break a couple of hand tackle attempts and get it into the end zone. Eureka has scored for the first time, 4:14 to go here in the 4th.
Yep. And that was a nice drive on their part. It's disappointing they got in the end zone, but it wasn't anything cheap. You know, they moved the ball down the field and made some plays along the way.
That was a 90-yard drive for the Red Devils offense.
Yeah, that's impressive. They did a nice job on that.
This is Hector Ogaz, and the officials are going to whistle this thing before it's kicked. Didn't get a penalty flag.
Weren't they ready for play or something?
Maybe the officials weren't ready. Yeah, everybody in position. They're in position. The players are in position. Hector Ogaz, freshman from Fairbury, Illinois, and that one is flat.
Yeah, was that just a bad kick or was it? Yeah, it was just on the ground, wasn't it? Yeah.
38-6 is our score. There's another Red Devil down right now, and he'll be tended to. But look, if you're Eureka, they're not going to win this football game, and it's a situation now where you have a 90-yard touchdown drive as the Warriors celebrate on their sidelines, 4:14 away from a 1-0 conference start. Now you're looking to finish the final 4-14 strong, and then Coach Starks, who again is building a program in his first year. They had a lot of turnover in terms of personnel and the roster situation.
Yep.
You take the little things, and if you feel good about how you leave a little bit, Coach, it's something to cling to as you now build.
It no doubt is, and to be honest with you, we reminisced a lot tonight about the 25 years of Warriors football, but early in our time here, we'd be getting shellacked by somebody, and yet we would drive the ball down and get a late score, a late field goal or something, and it means a lot to do that because you have two choices. You can just lay over and give up, or you can keep fighting and doing what you need to do to get better. And I mean, I'm good for Eureka. This is something that they can say, okay, that last drive, you really did some nice things and made the plays you needed to make, and they got a touchdown. So that is something they can build on.
Marcus Battle, another freshman. There are so many freshmen on this roster and so many underclassmen. You look at the Eureka situation that they find themselves in this year compared to last year. Yes, we talk about a new coaching staff and roster turnover. It's a situation where they lost 6 all-conference players last year who either graduated or transferred out.
Yeah.
So even those guys who warranted postseason honors last year have moved on for one reason or another. They really are just trying to build this thing back up from the ground level.
Yep, they are. And Kurt Barth was a well-loved coach at Eureka. He was there a long time. He was well-loved. Hall of Famer. They had some, a few years back, they had a kid on their squad named Anthony Reasnover, he was a kid that, maybe the best back other than maybe the kids that we've had here, in my opinion, in the league. So they had it going in a good way. And then when he left, I think there were some kids just disappointed they didn't have a chance to play for him and moved on. So coach is starting over in a lot of ways, but you have the bumps along the way, but you finally get there.
Short end over end kick. Fair catch is made at the 30-yard line, made by Nate Hidalgo. Well, let's see what Eric Tresky does, and more specifically, let's see if we see Bryce Barbian anymore today. It looks like he is out there in the vicinity of that huddle.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he's certainly had a nice night.
He was in the vicinity, and now he's not in the vicinity anymore. He has come out of this game. Yep, well, we just were speculating there. Nate Griffith, the junior from Brighton, Colorado. 6'3", 200-pound junior.
And he has a lot of nice plays under his belt as a Warriors quarterback as well. He's done a great job during his time that he's been here.
And the senior running back, Seth Voller, gets the carry. He had a fourth-quarter touchdown last week in the win over Buena Vista, and he has a short gain here, tackled by Derek Payton Jr.
I know the Warriors they're trying to get the game over with. They've done wonderful things, both sides of the ball, special teams, and they want to get some good plays for the younger guys here, but get the game over with and go away with a victory. Using every part of the game clock.
Play clock with 5. I won't snap this thing till there's 2 or 1. They do it at 2, and they give it to Voller. He's got a hole on the left side of the line, and he rumbles his way up to the 39-yard line. Pickup of 6 on the play, tackled by Willie Cox, and it'll be third down at about a yard here for the Warriors offense.
And Voller is picking up where he left off last week. He came in late in the game and had a great touchdown run, and is just doing a nice job out there right now. Be nice to get this first down, because that would take this down to the 2-minute timeout.
On the season, Voller now 7 carries for 43 yards. Griffith, the quarterback. Barbian's night is done. Voller looking for a first down up the middle, doesn't find it. His second effort is going to make it very close, and they will move the sticks, and the clock will move as well.
What a nice play, and he used his big body that time to just get that extra yard that he needed, because he got stuck at probably 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, there's no doubt that he can certainly bring the physicality to the position.
Yeah, no doubt. He's a big kid and runs hard.
He'll come out right now as they bring in Tywin McKinney, sophomore from Milwaukee, graduate of Kingdom Prep Lutheran.
And they like him. I mean, he's they've got a stable of running backs. I mean, and they're young running backs.
We've hit the 2-minute timeout. Don't call it a warning of the fourth quarter. Warriors in control and in command, leading 38-6. And those guys on the sidelines, they can enjoy it now. The smiles will show. Playing under the lights, Eric Tresky saying how much his guys were going to relish this opportunity. They'll do it again next week up in Lakeland. They'll do it on the road. But as the fifth-year head coach of the Warriors huddles up his team, all in all, it will have been another nice day for Warriors football.
No doubt. I know they had goals coming in, what they wanted to accomplish, and how they wanted to move forward with all phases of their game. And it'll be fun to talk with Eric, when this thing is all over with, and how did the results match with the goals where they had, because I got to believe they feel great about it.
I want to just take a moment here. Initially, when you saw that group shot on the left side of the screen was Mike Fossum. He was here with you on day one. He has been here every day since, the only member of the current staff who was here in '99. I know he was part of that pregame reception at the hotel.
Yeah, he's
special guy.
Yeah,
and a special
very
day
special
for Foss.
guy, and I pointed him out at the hotel, and we recognized him. I hope, here we go.
Yeah, Tywin McKinney with the offensive line, making offensive line coach Mike Fossum very happy. Tywin McKinney with a big carry. Ezekiel on the stop. McKinney takes it all the way down to the 44-yard line.
His mom should be very proud of him again tonight. So, Mrs. Fossum, this one's for you again.
One of our most
son
loyal.
is doing a good job out there.
One of our most loyal viewers. That's awesome. 95 seconds left in this one before the fireworks will literally go off here at Robbie Stadium. And again, 10 on the play clock here. Griffith brought him to the line. They get there so early, and then you kind of just have to wait a little while.
Right.
McKinney again, exploiting the center seam to the 36-yard line. He picks up 8. It'll be 2nd down and 2 for Tywin McKinney.
And I like what how Eureka is handling the end of this game as well. You know, they have 2 timeouts left, and I suppose they could use them if they wanted to, but they recognize it's over. They've done some things tonight that they hope that they can build on, and they don't have to belabor the point.
There's a Red Devil being tended to here on the sidelines. You know, one of the cool things, as folks who have been watching Warriors broadcast for a few years know, that Gary Whipperman and his crew at W7 Productions, they take you inside the huddle. Down on the field, we got Dave Beasley working here, the sideline camera. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask the longtime football coach, Dennis Miller, your thoughts on cameras on the sidelines, catching every little detail right there.
Yeah.
We are right in that huddle. We are perched on the shoulder of Eric Tresky.
Yep.
Would a Dennis Miller have welcomed a camera perched on his shoulder, or would you have, I don't know, put up some placards or something like that to block us? Be honest.
Oh, okay, I wouldn't have welcomed it. But that's the way the world is now.
The injured Red Devil.
No offense taken, Coach.
No.
Yes, that's Gary, our director. Yeah, don't take it personally, Gary.
My favorite commercial on TV is the Detroit Lions coach when he comes up and covers his mouth when they're taking the order at Applebee's. I'm thinking, now that resonates with me for some reason.
Lip reading has gotten that good over the years?
Oh, boy, yeah.
Okay.
You know, funny you should say that because we play a couple teams in our league, but their coaches are their antics are so visible on the sidelines that you know what they're doing before the play comes. Michigan wasn't the only team to do that.
50 seconds left. And McKinney getting some reps here late. He is fresh. He wants to fly in the opportunities given.
Kids are happy on the sidelines, engaged on the sidelines. It's fun to see that. Everybody's standing and they're enjoying the night.
They'll have to snap it one final time here. There's 20 on the play clock and 25 on the game clock. Stick around. Post-game show, Wayne Chevy will catch up with Eric Tresky. We'll give you some numbers, then we will catch up with a member of the Warriors team. We're going to try to catch up with Emmett Hawkins, who had a 6-catch, 136-yard night, and that'll do it. Well, the Warriors have won their 2nd in a row, and more importantly, now 1-0 in NAC play and 2-1 overall.
Yeah, what a great start to the season. I mean, you go into the season and you want to have success in the preseason games, the non-conference games. I see he's ready to go.
Yeah, let's go down to Rev. He's with Coach Tresky.
I'm here with Coach Tresky. I'm going to say something funny. Kind of an unspectacular, methodical victory, huh? How do you like that?
I'm going to be candid. Coach Fossum said that felt like giving birth. It was like just this slow process, but the guys played hard. I was proud of how they stayed together. They didn't get frustrated. They rallied. They talked it out, and they execute the end. And, again, we talked at half. The defense was amazing, so really proud of the group.
Offensively, what did you like in the second half?
We've got more physical up front. We did a nice job. Yeah, really proud of the group, and Bryce kept his composure.
All right. Congratulations, 2 in a row. We'll bring it back next week against Lakeland. Congratulations, Coach.
Yep, thank you, guys.
All right, thank you, Wayne, and thank you, Coach Tresky. Yes, indeed, the Warriors now 1-0 in the NAC, now 2-1 overall. They will head to Lakeland next Saturday night. Eureka falls to 0-1 in the conference, and 0-3 overall. We'll have our post-game show come your way in a couple of minutes as we'll give you stats. We'll try to catch up with Emmett Hawkins here in the press box. Warriors 38, Eureka 6. Back in a couple of moments. This is Warriors football.
You're watching Warriors football live from Robbie Stadium on WLCSports.com.
Wisconsin Lutheran College. Academic excellence, real-world experience, Christian values. Discover your purpose. WLC.edu/purpose. Imagine yourself here. Imagine making a meaningful difference as a bold Christian leader. Imagine finding yourself and your purpose here, where professors know your name and care about how you're doing. Close to the downtown and the energy of a major city, in a quiet and safe neighborhood. Imagine your greatest adventure starting here at Wisconsin Lutheran College. The world is changing in powerful ways. You deserve an education that helps you meet the moment. Wisconsin Lutheran College. An academic and faith experience embedded in a close-knit community that activates your potential. Preparing you for life's critical moments so you can step into your unique purpose as a bold Christian leader. Take the first step at WLC.edu/purpose.
Back at Robbie Stadium, where Wisconsin Lutheran College knocks off Eureka by a score of 38-6. Coach Miller and Scott Warris here in the booth. It was a ball game that, Eric Tresky said, assistant coach Mike Fossum said it was like giving birth. And we were talking about that analogy. I know you used that line a lot. You said back in the day, it was just a grinder, but you look at the final stats and you go,
right,
okay, that'll work. As in 508 total yards. They ran 80 plays.
Yeah, and dominant win every aspect of the field of the game, but it just kind of churned along. I mean, it was kind of cool. There were a couple splash plays. You know, Hawkins had a couple of splash plays and that sort of thing. But I think that's the analogy. It was just kind of grinding along. But man, what a great win.
Final numbers here in this one. The Warriors 508 yards of offense, 325 through the air, 183 on the ground for the green and white. Bryce Barbian finished 25 out of 36, 324 yards through 3 touchdowns. His first 3 touchdown passes of the season came here this evening. You pointed out a good thing. Liam Hygis credited with a touchdown pass on that little shovel. What would you call that?
Yeah, a little shovel pass. And the nice thing about that play is it is a touchdown pass, but if for some reason they drop it or something like that, it's just an incomplete pass. So that was a real nice call on Eric's part. I think they certainly had things going their way at that stage of the game.
It was a rushing attack that saw Liam Hygis go over 100 yards. Again, 113 on 23 carries and a touchdown for the freshman. McKinney got those 32 yards late. Carson Kohler, a grinder of a day for him, 10 carries, 31 yards. To the receiving corps, as the fans file out here at Robbie Stadium, it's Jamil Gordon, 12 catches for 105 and a score. Emmett Hawkins, a team-high 136 receiving yards. A couple of touchdown receptions, 6 catches for Hawkins. That Gordon-Hawkins dynamic was there. 18 of Bryce Barbian's 25 completed passes to those 2 studs on the outside.
Oh, and they are studs. There's no doubt about it. They're both fast. And so if you make a mistake on them, it's going to cost you. It might cost you a touchdown. It's going to cost you a long run, something like that. They're just very fast. And I just love how they're using those guys. I mean, and they're distributing it to other guys besides them, but they have a couple of go-to guys, which is pretty fun.
Well, let's talk about the defense. They gave up that late touchdown, but it was a goose egg on the board for pretty much the entire game here as they allow Eureka to put up 189 yards of total offense as the fireworks show begins here behind Robbie Stadium. Passing yards, 146. Rushing yards, 43 rushing yards for Eureka.
Yeah, and what defense did tonight, and they did it last week as well. They didn't do it as much in the first week, but tonight what showed up play after play is all the gang tackling. They had all kinds of people around the football. Not very often was it one guy bringing the guy down. Branton Ansack had a couple all by himself, but great gang tackling. That's a nice look right there with the fireworks.
You know what? You caught me right there, folks. You're watching. You caught me fist bump Gary Whipperman for getting that split screen with the fire. Like, that's not B-roll from some sort of 4th of July celebration, folks. Those are the fireworks going on just beyond the south end zone near the softball diamond here at Robbie Stadium, where, yes, indeed, 38-point offensive fireworks performance for the Warriors, and now this big crowd that had been filing out have been stopped right in their tracks to enjoy this fireworks show. Look, we talked, Coach, about the high expectations, the true optimism around this program, and after 2 home games, these home fans have got to be feeling it and seeing what Tresky and company had been seeing over the last 6 weeks.
Absolutely. They were optimistic going in, and now there's proof. They look at the video, look what we're doing. And again, I know they're going to have a great week of practice, and they're going to get gearing up for Lakeland, which is a great conference opponent that we've battled year in and year out for 25 years.
Let's take one more break. We'll come back. We're going to bring in one of the stars of the fireworks performance, as it were, on the field, Emmett Hawkins, as we continue. More from a dark Robbie Stadium at the moment. You're watching Warriors football. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth. Scott Warris and Emmett Hawkins, one of the stars of this ball game here today. We apologize. We take you away from the fireworks show because we want to talk about what you did, Emmett. 6 carries, 136, 2 touchdowns. I know you're probably frustrated with how last week went against Buena Vista. What was the key for you specifically coming in and performing the way we know you can?
It was really just trusting my instincts. The last week, I kind of just lost my eyes on the football on both of those post routes. And Tresky was making sure to tell me to run those posts a little bit skinnier just to make the angle easier to catch him. So I definitely thought about those 2 drops the whole week. So I just wanted to make sure no matter what, I'd be looking at the ball until I caught it.
You know, as you make the adjustment and you're still very young, still an underclassman, obviously, have you found now in this year, in this second year, maybe things starting to slow down a little bit? Guys always talk about the speed of the game and adjusting from high school to college at any level.
I think the first couple of years, it was more so getting the plays down, understanding the concepts. Now it's more so reading the defense, understanding the leverage, where I want to release, inside or outside, just small details like that.
Well, speaking of that, and Coach Miller was all over it all night, and when it was you and number 10, Daniel Parham's there on an island, the old play caller, Dennis Miller, the eyes got big, and I know your current play caller, Eric Tresky's eyes got big.
He loved it.
I assume your eyes got big as well. You want those, you thrive on those situations.
Yep, me and Bryce been playing together for about 8 years now, so once we saw that it was cover 0 and there was no safety help, it was just getting on the inside and winning their route.
Yeah, talk about that, because the 2 Cudahy Packers once upon a time, that bond, that connection, that goes back many, many years. I imagine that gives you a big advantage.
Oh yeah, big time. We're on the same page for pretty much everything. If it's ever a scramble drill, which I got most of my yards out of in high school too, if it's any type of scramble drill like that, Bryce knows where I am. I know where Bryce is looking. We're pretty much on the same page.
This offense and this defense. Let's talk about what the defense has done now the last couple of weeks, the first 2 home games.
Played phenomenal. We felt bad for the first week how the offense couldn't get going right away. The defense has been on point. They continue to be on point. They weren't getting cocky or anything like that because they knew they did good. They made sure to get the job done today.
Well, it was spectacular. And again, that dynamic duo of Hawkins and Gordon, call it a law firm if you will, 18 carries, 3 touchdowns. I can do math quickly here, 241 combined receiving yards. Congratulations. If you like this night game, you're going to look forward to the night game up at Lakeland next Saturday?
Absolutely.
Did you hear what they did today at Chicago? 66 they put up. 66-61 they beat Concordia Chicago today.
That was a good game.
That was a
really
wild game, a wild game. So who knows? Emmett Hawkins, congratulations, pal.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
On the victory, most importantly, the Warriors move to 1-0. Let's take one last break. Short break. We'll come back. Coach and I will wrap things up from Robbie Stadium where the fireworks still continue. The grand finale mere moments away here at Robbie Stadium, and man, there are some boomers. You feel some of these fireworks right in the sternum.
Yeah, you can see them and feel them. I laugh because when we were getting ready to build this stadium, Wauwatosa wanted to make sure that we weren't too loud and the music wasn't too loud. So I have no idea how this is working, but it's going pretty good tonight.
So much for that.
Yeah.
Well, we should mention, we talked schedule, Warriors at Lakeland next Saturday night. But our next broadcast will be the next home game, and oh my goodness, it'll be a big one as the Warriors welcome in the reigning defending champions of the NAC, the Aurora Spartans. At this moment, they're a top 20 team in the country, and the Warriors certainly will have to be firing on all cylinders to try to upset Don Beebe's squad.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, we were talking off air a little bit. They're the bullies of the neighborhood. They have kind of run roughshod over the league for the last few years, and they are getting all kinds of accolades, and they deserve all of it. They're doing a great job. Don Beebe's done a great job since he's been there, but somebody has to beat him sometime, and why not us? And we'll see what happens in 2 weeks.
Warriors 38, Eureka 6. Wisconsin Lutheran makes homecoming 2024 a very, very happy one. A lot of familiar faces back here. A great night to celebrate Warriors football, the former Warriors and the current Warriors. And as always, WLC Sports is the way to keep up to date on all the happenings, including following along that matchup at Lakeland. We'll be with you again in 2 weeks, back to a traditional afternoon 1 o'clock start for the Warriors and the Aurora Spartans. People to thank here tonight, as always, our great W7 Productions crew behind the scenes. James Whipperman, Dave Beasley on the sidelines, all under the direction of Gary Whipperman, our producer and our director. Thanks to Tyler Zimmerman, TZ. Yeah, there were old faces in the booth as well, bringing some guys back, handled the spotting duties, and we appreciate that very much. For Rev Shev down on the field, for the founder of Warriors football, the first head coach, Dennis Miller, I'm Scott Warris saying good night from Robbie Stadium, where Wisconsin Lutheran is 1-0 in conference play after taking care of the Red Devils of Eureka. We'll see you next time, everybody. Good night.
You're watching Warriors football live from Robbie Stadium on WLCsports.com.